Hello, everybody! Welcome to a fun stream we are having today. Oh, it's Tuesday, everybody. How's it going? How's it going? Popping out chat here so I can get you guys on the full screen. How's it going? Hope you guys are all excited for Super Fun Tuesday. It's going to be just me for a good chunk of the time. Spooky Jordan, why am I so spooky? My ghost? Did I turn into a ghost randomly? What happened? Oh, ay, ay, ay. Oh, all right, let's do it. So we're gonna try something new on Tuesdays. It's like all the shorts that you guys have been enjoying. We are gonna start doing a little bit of testing for some of those shorts on Tuesdays. So you guys will get a little bit of a sneak peek at some of the upcoming stuff as I work through a recipe to get it condensed to a point where it makes sense for a short. Also, what's up, Solo? And how's it going, Route? And gosh darn that hipster Gumby guy. How's it all going? Route, welcome back for your 3-month streak. Thank you for the sub. So our test, as we are going to start it, we are going to be coming back to this today. But I want to get this quick test out of the way. I think I have some good ideas for it. We're going to be doing the tabard on one of these guys. So I'm going to do a quick test on that. See if we can't come up with a nice short and sweet recipe for getting those tabards look really nice. And then, yeah, then we're going to move on to working on the fancy lady. So we're going to do that. Javond! Welcome back. Wait, is Baby J painting boobies today? Yes! Yes, I am painting boobies today. But they're like somewhat covered up. They got like things on them. You got some like weird looking pasties on.
Well, huzzah, huzzah! I'll just throw back my legs and
Snake
pollute
lady.
my britches with delight.
But first, we're doing tabard boy. So, I'm thinking for the tabard, I want to finish with somewhere in like the khaki range, right? So, maybe we do... I don't really want to do dark golden brown. I'm just going to walk through my process of figuring this out as well. So you guys can kind of get an idea of like where my brain goes to when I think about these kinds of recipes. So we're just going to have some fun with it. What's up, Phoenix? How's it going? What is this bus tosser tossing? I ain't tossing anything. Nobody's under a bus. Nobody is scared for their lives. It's just going to be the bus guy. Baby J. Well, let me tell y'all. No. Hipster Gumby, I have not thrown you under the bus today. Yesterday, little bits are off. Today, we're good. We are good today. But yeah, so this is kind of where I want to end up, right? Is some khaki. So I want to find something that's probably a step below this. Maybe I mix this into something. Maybe like a warm brown might be kind of cool. Let's see here. Okay, all right. Let's see. So we're going to try maybe instead of warm brown and khaki. Let's see what that looks like really quick first. We're going to throw a little bit of this on the palette and see what it looks like. The other thing I might throw in here is a little bit of yellow ochre or golden yellow. Probably golden yellow because it's a little bit more brown and a little less yellow. Or I should say a little bit more yellow. So let me grab my fancy schmancy brush. And we got two guys that we can test this on. So we're going to mix a little bit of this golden yellow and a little bit of this warm brown. We'll see what we get. So I'm using 2 parts of the golden yellow to 1 part of the warm brown. And we got a nice tabardy color with that. I actually like that a lot. So let's see here. Let's find a good brush to lay some of this on. I gave my other brush to paint liquor, so I gotta like have a good new base coating brush. Here, this'll work. All right, so this is kind of what we're looking at here with this color. We're gonna go ahead and throw it on here, and this is gonna be pretty bright because we're gonna darken it up. And it's got really good coverage, which is nice. And you can see this isn't super yellow, but it's also not super brown either. It's got that kind of creamy, tabardy cloth color to it, which is what I'm looking for. And we're just gonna throw this on here. And I think if we do 1 or 2 steps, do this base coat, do a step or 2 of shading, and then a step or 2 of highlighting, I think we'll be in a good spot. Oh, let's see here. You said today. What is your thought process for picking these colors? Here, let me just come back to this in a second. Bo, hey, yeah, we're doing a little bit of a test paint. We're doing a new Technical Tuesday thing where I test out some recipes for some upcoming shorts that we want to do. And I kind of walk you guys through some of the behind the scenes process of me prepping for some of these videos that you guys get to see. So that'll be super fun. I only have one of them that I'm going to do today. It's just for the tabard on this guy, which shouldn't take very long. And then, yes, we are going to be going back to the Snake Lady. So, do not fear, Mo. We shall be going back to this. And then as far as the hipster Gumby is concerned, so with my tabards, I like them to be kind of that linen-y kind of color, and I don't like going super yellow as a base coat over that to start with, or as initial color. I like to go with something that's kind of right in between that brown and yellow spectrum. So that's why I'm starting with something that's this golden brown plus a little bit of brown. Let's see here. Oh my goodness, Ghosty Painting raiding with the party of 22. Thank you so much for the raid. Hello. Welcome, everybody. Hope you guys had a wonderful stream. We are just getting started here, doing a little bit of a Technical Tuesday tutorial / trial run for a new video that we're going to be putting up here soon. Sapo57, are you using a wet palette? Yes, I am. Is on the screen, sort of. We need to get this zoom adjusted so we can see what's going on. For all of those who are new here, hello. We are Moneyman Hobbies. We make some awesome cool paint called Pro Acryl, which we're going to be using on stream here today to show off all the cool things that we're doing, both with this Soul Drinker demo thing that we're working on. Working on a little recipe for painting the tabard that we're going to be showing off in a short here in a little bit of time. And then we are going to be getting around to painting Fancy Schmancy Snake Lady is the next project we're working on. So this will probably take 20 or 30 minutes at the most, and then we're going to move on to that other project. So welcome, everybody. Hello. Dysonauts. Woo, hello. LMW, hello. Oh, hello. Hi, everybody. I hope you guys had some fun. I am very excited. We're getting to Tuesday off to a nice start. And again, so this base color that we're doing here, I'm going to put another coat on here, is a mixture of golden brown, which is what this color is up top here. It's dried on the tip. And our newer signature series color, warm brown, which is this beautiful kind of brown, rich brown color that's not super dark, it's not super bright, it's just like perfect mid-tone. And we're using it in about a 2-to-1 mix to make this nice kind of light brown color. Kind of like a tanned hide color almost. And it's got great coverage. We're just putting another layer on to get a little bit more vibrancy of the color since we put it over a black base coat basically. Baby poop. This is not baby poop. You want to see baby poop, I will mix baby poop up for you. But this is not it. Or maybe baby poop, but I usually say baby vomit is pretty close. Depends on what they eat. I suppose that's true, Phoenix. You make a very valid argument there. I think either way it's not great. Either way you slice it. Don't want to get a whole lot of baby poop. How was the stream, Ghosty? If you're still here. Hope you had a good time. At least it won't smell. Man, I have heard some horror stories about the early baby poops. Heard many. I have a lot of friends who are going through their second or third kid at this point, and they're like, man, them baby poops. All right, so that's looking pretty good. Did all the way up there. All right, so we're gonna let this dry real quick. We are going to figure out what our first shade color is going to be, which I think might just be warm brown. Oh, absolutely baby poop color. Uh-oh. All right, Ellen. Looks like it's baby poop color for the base coat. It shall forever be dubbed. If you've never had the displeasure of smelling it, keep that away. Keep it that way. I've heard tales. Sapo, I've heard tales. Enough to give me that impression from the get-go of definitely don't go out of your way to give it a whiff. Oh, look, we missed a little bit of this tabard underneath here. Shouldn't be a big deal. And remember, our final goal is to kind of get up to like a khaki color or an ivory even. I might even just go ivory on these guys. My regular ivory. There it is. Got our ivory. So we'll probably end up with ending somewhere here. Or maybe even doing a little bit of pale yellow first into this to keep a little bit of that yellowiness. Alrighty. So we're thinning down this brown, this dark brown? Warm brown. This warm brown to a glaze. I'm waiting for this tabard to dry a little bit. We're going to start by throwing some of it up here into the recesses. And then we're going to clean our brush off. We're going to go back and we're going to blend some of this out while it's still wet to keep it nice and smooth. Interesting. So that kind of turns a little bit more red than I was expecting, which is really interesting. So maybe we do this stage and we do a further stage of like a dark umber, which should kill some of that reddish hue that we got going on there. I don't hate it, but we'll have to see what it looks like when I get some more of this shade in there. And this is why we do all these tests, guys, so that we can get a good sense of what the model's supposed to look like before I have to go record and show everybody, create a recipe for everybody to follow. So it's looking pretty good. What's up, T. Schmidt? How's it going? Look at this nerd playing with toys. We all play with toys here. We're grown adults, and we are allowed to play with toys if we want to. We're going to hit the back side of this tabard as it goes towards the inside of that half right there. Again, we're going to blend some of that out. I don't know if you guys can see it, but you see that sheen right on the inside here? That's basically tells me that this is not quite dry. We're going to have to be kind of careful with that. So we're just going to do another quick layer in there. We're going to throw this into the middle there. Blending it out again. Blending it out. You can see throwing in a lot of shadow in there. And don't worry, we're going to come back and we're going to reclaim a lot of that here in a minute, but we're going to put one more layer of shadow in first, and then we're going to bring it back. So let me grab some of this dark umber, this guy right here, and you can see this is much darker. And we're going to mix this in with our previous layer. So we're going to add some of this plus a little bit of the dark brown. We're going to get something kind of like this. And we're going to thin that down a little bit more. And we're going to start applying that. This time we're really looking to just kind of push that into the deep, deep recesses over there. Up here where the tabard goes into the belt. The edge of this security seal, it looks like that's coming down. That deep crevice there. Put it into that super hard fold right there in the middle. We're gonna blend it down. Yeah, there you go. That looks nice. It's all about kind of just like creating that shape and the contrast with everything. We're gonna get this line. Ooh, we got a little chunk of something. That's weird. Where did that come from? That shouldn't be there. We all see it, the brush handle on the palette. Alright, so we're going to hit the inside there as well, like we did the last time. And that's pretty much going to be it for the shading. So that's step 3. We got the base coat step, we got the first shade, the second shade, and now we're going to bring it back to our initial mix, which was the golden brown plus the warm brown. We're going to mix this back up a little bit. Again, that 2 to 1. sure I don't have too much on my palette. And then we're gonna pull this in here. Now this time I'm gonna do a little bit of like texture blending here. I'm just gonna kind of feather it in really lightly with these like hash mark type strokes with the paintbrush. And that's just to create a little bit of texture blend where I'm putting this in. Now this part I might actually try and wet blend back because a little much down there. Okay, that looks nice. And see how much just bringing back that initial color just totally changes how this looks, right? We're going to come back here. We're going to get the inside bit right here. That right there. Very, very raised edge. Outside bit. I'm not worried too much about this getting onto other parts of the armor, as long as it's not this painted purple bit. Even if it does, it's not the end of the world. We're just going to be careful with it. I'm just going to define that line on the inside there. Alright, I am very happy with how this is turning out. And I think for our final step, we're just going to mix in a little bit of pale yellow, and we'll probably call it there. Let's see what it looks like with the pale yellow. We're going to take pale yellow, take the golden yellow, together. Water. And we're going to do that same sort of texture-y bit. This down just a touch. I'll bring this down here. All right. Yeah, I like that a lot. I think that that is a very reasonable looking tabard. And that is going to go onto this guy. Shouldn't be too bright in relation to everything else because the gold is very bright up here. It should be brighter than the armor plates because it's off-white color. Yeah, it'll look very different than the purity seals, which is cool. I'm digging it. I'm all about it. So let's see here. I don't have a pen to write that down, but I'm gonna do this. Hey, Gabe. Gabe, are you there? T. Schmidt. We used, for the first step, it was 2 parts golden brown to 1 part warm brown. Second step was warm brown shading. Third step was warm brown plus dark umber shading. The fourth step was reclaim with 2 parts golden brown, 1 part warm brown. And then the final step was golden brown plus a little bit of pale yellow. That's it. Yeah, it's only 5 steps is what we just figured out. And I think this looks nice. Could probably spend a little bit more time to like finagle it and get it to look nicer, but the whole idea is to be able to give you guys something real easy to do that's replicatable and very fast. So this was our test model. It's looking really good. The only thing I might do is just do the golden brown instead of the pale yellow instead, so we can test that. We just paint back over our initial highlight, or our last highlight, with our mid-tone. Just a little bit, but that's okay. And remember, everybody, this is just a test. It's okay that we're going back over this. We're just want to see the relation of brightness if I just went with golden brown instead of golden brown plus pale yellow. Also means I need to glaze a little bit more of this warm brown in. Pretty much back to where we want it to be. Gonna go over with pure golden yellow. Because if we can save a step and just go pure golden yellow, have that be done, that's generally preferable to doing a really bright layer. Huh? I told you the recipe so you could write it down. I don't have a piece of paper to write it down on here because I'm a silly goose. And good old Gabe. Good old Gabe. I mean, you do. But you gotta do other stuff too. Gabe's a good guy. He only occasionally deserves to be thrown under a bus. Like yesterday. He deserved it. He needed a good old lesson. I think. What do you think, chat? You think we can go with just the golden brown? Or do you think we need the golden brown plus that little bit of pale yellow? I think it's about the same, to be honest with you. And this will be not quite as bright. Probably works better. Hi, Baby J. The adults aren't here. You can tell us when the new paint is dropping. Yeah, I mean, we're looking at like August 8 is the plan. So, there you go. Woohoo! I cheated. I didn't paint the back part. Need to paint the front part. Yeah, well, hold on. This is like a loose date, Claire. No. I don't know if you'll be able to get it in Japan by then. It takes a minute for all of those things to kind of get overseas. So August 8th is not actually the date you will probably get it. But we'll get it as soon as we can. You're on vacation. Oh, I'm so jealous. That sounds awesome. Oh, you're on vacation during that time. I mean, I'm going to be honest with you. Vacation in Japan. Signature Series paints. I think the Signature Series paints win. I'm just saying. I think they win. Just a little bit. Alright. Looking good. I think we're good on this. It's time to get back to the Lady at Hours Sacrifice. This is one of the new models. Well, not new models, but this is one of the models that we have just put on our website from Mindworks Games. You go to our website store, you can check them out. It's called The Sacrifice. I don't know what you're talking about, Spatsnat. I don't know what you're talking about. I don't remember having this conversation. Couldn't fool me. Alright, so yesterday we were using language. Warm brown. Dark warm flush. And I think a touch of the transparent orange. Make everything look all fancy schmancy like. So, maybe we take a golden yellow, or golden brown, excuse me. And we'll try and see what this looks like as a highlight. And the answer is it looks pretty good. So we're still kind of in the sketching phase on this model. Usually these types of things go through a couple of different stages for me. It goes through the I'm sketching color and value onto the model until I find something that kind of works for me. And then it's all about just refining those blends and those transitions to the point where I'm happy with the final result. Do a little bit of airbrush blending to smooth everything out. You can see here I'm applying this highlight. Cheekbones. I'm actually bringing it down just a little bit as well, because her face is if you can look at this, right? The model's like this. Her face is up. So a little bit more of her face is going to get exposed to that light than it would normally. This looks kind of crazy right now, so we're gonna bring it back down here in a little bit. I want to get this nice kind of soft sunny highlight on the parts of the model that are gonna need to get it. Places like fingers here. This part of the breastbone here, the collarbone going down. That there. This is probably going to maintain a lot of that brightness here. I'm kind of bringing down this center line here where this brightness would accumulate. What's up, Omnicron Samurai? How's it going? Good morning. We're back. We're working on some more Snake Lady. We're doing a bit of punchy value stuff today. Other collarbone going this way, a little bit of that. Maybe some of this inside part of the neck would get it too. Probably end up glazing some of that down as well. Some of this part of the arm, elbow. And this hip is going to get it well. Now, once we get further down than this is where some of this starts to fall off. So I'm going to bring some of this down on the leg, but not quite as much. This is going to be more under shadow down in here. Get this part here. Part of the hand. Most of the rest of this is going to be in shadow. It's not morning, you're just in Tucson. Had a hot day hanging out in Tombstone. Jeez. Yeah, it's been really warm today. I have not been a fan. Leaves a little bit to be desired, if I'm going to be honest with you. Alright, we're going to bring some more of this oranginess back to the skin. Or transparent orange with the warm flesh and the dark warm flesh. Or the dark warm flesh. And the warm brown. That one. Getting all tongue-tied. Lots of warm colors in here. So, one of the things I like to do, you can see on the palette here in the bottom left-hand corner of the screen, how desaturated this gets when I mix it. And the reason that we have the orange in here is to bring that warmth back to it. You can see how much warmer that got just by adding a little bit of that brown back to it. Might even add some of this golden yellow to see where we're at with that. So we're going to thin this down a bit. We're going to see what this looks like kind of blended over some of this golden brown that we just threw down. We're just sketching, just trying to find that color. Yeah, now this color right over that golden brown looks really nice. This might be a nice like glaze through an airbrush color once we have our values established, which is great. That's what I like to see. Because this color over in here looks really good. So then we're going to bring this in with a little bit of the pale yellow. We're going to start pushing this even brighter. Places like the top of the shoulder. There. Cheekbones here. Bridge of the nose. And this will do two things. It'll soften some of that harshness of the yellow while still giving us a little bit of a jump in value. Looks really nice. We're going to get here. Follow it through on the collarbone. Bit down here too, even. Not quite as much. Hello! Paint Liquor, what's up? Hello! Oh my god, these late team meetings are the death of my being on time Tuesdays and Thursdays. Not gonna lie, Paint Liquor. I turned on the stream and I didn't see you and I got a little sad. I was wondering where you were at. You're usually so punctual. Build up brightness a little bit. Try and get something that's just a stage down from this golden brown. Here we go. Kind of linking these segments of highlight together to bring the brightness on the skin to where it should be. I think this is looking a little oversaturated. Let me try and knock down the saturation just a touch. Here. This camera. Ooh. That looks a little bit better. Compare really quick Yeah, it's better. Yeah, I think that looks pretty. We should start blocking off our calendars and saying we're in meetings. No more meetings. Only fun painting time. On the stream. You open up the brush yet, Paint Liquor? You get the package opened yet? I know you got a brush vault with a fancy schmancy little brush in there for you. Mixture on the palette is nice because I can pull from different areas to get different brightnesses that I'm looking for, different value, color. Get down here, get darker if I need to. This stuff. One of the big things, I don't want to lose this like bronzy skin tone, right? I don't want to over highlight it. I don't want to under highlight it. It's gonna be a challenge to kind of hit that exact point where it's got good value to it, which is brightness basically, but has the right color to it. And that's kind of the thing that I'm fighting with right now to get just right. I'm getting in here to the collarbone. We're going to darken that up some. That side. I think one of the big things that I'm missing right now is we got to get some color brightness in between the fingers. Light would definitely be getting in there. I want my brush vault autographed by Baby J and Slow Fuse. Come to a show. I'd be happy to sign it for you. Sure, Jason would be as well. One of the things we I think I can safely say this for Jason as well as myself. I think he and I both really enjoy being able to get out and meet a lot of you guys in person at these shows. You can see I'm just pulling pushing and pulling these gradients a little bit, ever so slightly, this way and that, as I smooth out everything to a place where I'm happy with it. Kind of getting rid of a lot of these harsher transitions. So that there are not a ton of really drastic jumps in brightness or saturation. You want nice, smooth transitions, kind of like what we have here, right? Is we've gotten this to where you can see there's definitely shape here, but the gradient is not super duper significant. We're kind of defining this rib cage here because there's nicely sculpted rib cage in there. We want to keep that. A little bit of this brightness here on the belly. We're going to get a little bit of a brighter color here. We're going to try and incorporate that here. Play button up a little bit. Same value here. Small micro adjustments. Is anybody out there working on any fun projects while you're watching the stream, or we just hanging out and chatting? Ishman, I know you got stuff on your plate. What you working on? Cleaning out the paint room at the moment. Nice. Getting ready for some big projects. Primed up the shinobi. Ooh, nice. You can start doing skin on the smaller one's cloak. Wait. Where you make a mess of the shinobi. Sometimes you just gotta jump in there and get your hands dirty. Sometimes it's just worth getting in there, figuring it out. Sometimes you make a little bit of mistakes, which is okay. I make mistakes all the time. Mistakes are just part of the learning process. Repainting stuff is also part of the learning process. I do it all the time. If you guys were here to watch me paint the Morrigan, You know what I'm talking about. I'm actually going to get some of this dark color in here up underneath the chin, where the ears are. Bring some of this down neck and up into the cheeks with some smooth blends. This is a nice thin paint application we got going on here. This bit of glazes to get in there. We are getting there, chat. Slowly but surely. Refine a lot of this area here. We still need to bring it up, make it super bright. I get a mid in between that really bright color that we had before on the top of the shoulder and where the color is at with just being golden brown. So maybe we can pull this in here to make a nice little transition. There we go. Bring that down the line on the side here. Yeah, that looks better. Now that we have this kind of like line that goes from the top of the face down the side, kind of what I was trying to work towards getting built in. I had to build those gradients up so it made sense once I went to that stage of brightness. We're going to have a little bit of this over here as well. What color mix is the current tone, Baby J? Okay, so let me apply this really quick before I answer that. But I can walk you guys through it again where I'm kind of currently at. There's been a lot of like really subtle mixes going on here. I'm just gonna bring this out here, blend it out. Okay. So the main colors that we're working with right now are warm brown, golden brown, a touch of transparent orange to build back a little bit of warmth when this mix gets desaturated. And then I'm using a little bit of dark flesh in some mixes to add a little bit of peachiness and rosiness to the skin in areas. Because this doesn't add a lot of red. This is a lot of like warm browns. This adds a little bit of the kind of peachiness back to it. Which I'm also going to be able to do later with glazes as well. But while I'm trying to establish kind of an initial skin tone, this is, I think, where we want to be. Also, so I'm trying to line this up. You guys can see I'll get underneath the camera so we can kind of do this. So I'm trying to make sure that the line that I have is going down here, which means I need to rotate the highlight on her face to be a little bit further on this side, because I'm trying to get it so that the light is coming from this sort of direction. Kind of like if you look at the these arrows that are sticking out of the snake, like the light is coming in this direction. So it's hitting, you know, this area in here, this hip right here, the arm, the shoulder, this side of the face. It's hitting this far side of the face here. It's going to hit these fingers and this wrist. It's going to hit this top part of the chest here, this part of the breast down here. And then we get some of that coming around, wrapping around this side too. Bringing some of that brightness here. And then there should be a little bit more brightness here on the belly. Not much, just a little bit. But that's kind of what we're looking at. And I think I might pull this highlight up just a touch to kind of have it come all the way up to just about here. I'm leaving a little bit of shadow from here where this kind of casts a little bit of light onto her side there. Yeah, you know, it's really interesting when you get two colors that kind of desaturate, right? And I'll kind of show you what I'm talking about here. I'll take a little bit of this golden brown, and I'll mix it with that warm brown. I don't know if you can see this on the palette. There we go. And I'm going to paint this on my hand so you can see kind of what I'm talking about. So we have this kind of thing going on. Right here, mix a little bit of the golden brown in. And, you know, this general kind of thing. And that looks nice. That's a pretty good bronzy color. But when we add a little bit of this orange to it, we get much. I mean, this is thinned down a little bit because I just added a little bit more water. But you can see how that changes a lot, right? And then you can mix these together. You can see a little bit of a gradient. We have this nice little gradient bronziness, right? That's kind of what we're looking to do. And I think a lot of that orange is going to come into play once I start really pushing shadows more heavily on this model. I think I actually want to brighten up this shoulder a touch. I'll actually do with this mix. The shoulder shouldn't be completely in shadow. It should have a little bit of brightness. And with this arm here. Because you're still going to have a ton. If you're outside, you're going to have a ton of ambient light, right? You don't have that, like the concept of really heavy directional lighting just doesn't apply most of the time, unless you're in like sunset. But even then, like sunset is going to have so much light bouncing around off of other things that you're going to pick up a lot of that light elsewhere as well. We're just going to brighten up that side just a touch. And I'll even hit this side of the thigh just a little bit. Now we're going to add a lot more this golden brown. We're going to try and bring up brightness here on the belly. We're going to smooth out some of this transition here. Try and bring this along. Let's see here. Paint liquor. I need to experiment with transparent mixes. I normally just use them as glazes. Yeah, honestly, I love it. When we say they really are like the most versatile paints in our line, we're not kidding. They really, really are. It's you can use them for everything. You can use them for glazes. You can use them for washes. You can use them as like a replacement for contrast paints. You can use them to add saturation back to your colors in a way that even inks don't really do a very good job of, because the problem with inks is they're so liquidy that when you mix the color together, you water it down a ton. So the nice thing about our transparent paints is they're a paint. You can paint with them directly. They're just very transparent. So they have body to them. They have like this viscosity to them that works really well when you're trying to mix it into another color. And then by the nature of them being transparent, they add a little transparency to whatever your mix is too, which is great when you're trying to layer it over another color. So having all of that together is just like makes the perfect paint. They are my favorite paints that we make are our transparent paints, and I use them all the time. What's up, Tim? Welcome to the show. No fuse today. We might get a fuse later on in the show. He sent me a message earlier saying that he would be here. He would be missing a good chunk of the stream, but he might be on later, so we'll see how it goes. Got some stuff to do, so we'll see. The best hot pink. Jen talking about one of her favorite mixes, mixing them into our opaque colors. Transparent red plus magenta. That is a really good hot pink. And the nice thing too is that transparent red is already kind of in that magenta field, so it really adds that kind of pinkish tone back to the magenta. It's really good. Wad Tomato, what's up, man? How's it going? Yeah, I saw the flight. I didn't get a chance to respond to it, but that sucks, man. You had a rough break of the last week or so. You had your AC go out in the truck, then you got a flat. Man, just can't catch a break. Well, at least we are here to entertain you. So, ha, ha ha. You had another flat 2 weeks ago. Stop rolling over things that you shouldn't be. Because that's totally how it works. Alright, I'm seeing some spots where I need to bring up some of that vibrancy back. We're gonna go here. I'm seeing this area right here. Necklace kind of falls down. I want to add this back too. Hit that other collarbone right here, you can see. Nice coverage on the hand and the fingers especially, so it doesn't feel super weird having them kind of float. One of the problems that you can run into with like fingers on top of skin is you get a really harsh transition between the shadow, like almost like a dark line. You want to kind of get rid of a lot of that because it's going to make it look not supernatural. So getting rid of a lot of that, if you can. Great way to make it look more natural. Now, that doesn't mean that we're not going to throw some more highlights and shadows that way, but it helps kind of guide us in the right direction. Really liking how this is turning out right now. Got nice, good shading in there. Nice amount of value. push this just a touch more here. Got some great barbecue out there. Oh yeah, this is another great question that those of you in here might know. Anybody know any good barbecue places out in Fort Worth? Got a trip coming up down there, and I've never been before, but I know a bunch of us want to go check out some good barbecue down there. I've never really spent much time in Texas, and by much time I mean basically none. So, kind of a cool opportunity to check out some stuff. So if anybody knows of any good restaurants that we can check out while we're there, that would be awesome. Slaps Barbecue's your jam? Slaps Barbecue. Okay. Is that down there, Tim? Is that like a chain down in Texas? Oh, it's in Kentucky. Okay. Or Kansas City. Excuse me. No, I know. That's why it kind of surprised me that he specifically said that. Wasn't my expectation that chain barbecue places, which I'm sure exist, those aren't probably the places to go to. You want to go into like a hole in the wall place where they make like the best barbecue in the state or something silly like that. Keep pushing, pulling. Ready? Hey Mo, I don't know if you're still here, but you mentioned you were working on some new projects. What big new projects are you talking about? Very curious to see what everybody is getting on to. Your service cut out. Amazing how much painting you can get done on a model with just like 3 colors. I've really only used like 3 colors on this model so far, 4 technically. It's wild how much versatility you can get out of just that, right? Blending these colors together. Blend together. some more brightness on this area in shadow. Now the real question is, how much this do I want to keep, and how much of am I going to push into like some interesting color in the back? Because I really want to do some like blue or like jade shadows, which I think would be really interesting. Kind of pulling it together. All right, so you guys got to tell me about this Slaps place. What makes it so good? What is? Let's talk about the style of barbecues, because I have not spent a lot of time eating barbecue in my life, and I, frankly, am kind of curious. You guys got to tell me the lowdown. Because I know there's different barbecue styles depending on where you are, where you're from. If I recall, it's something that has to do with like some areas you get it with you get it dry with no barbecue sauce on it, but it's on the side. Some you get it slathered on and it's on there when they give it to you. But I'm not sure which ones are which and which ones are fancy schmancy and all that. Baby J must know. What color eyes should I do, chat? What do you think? What is chat feeling for the eye color? Should we do blue? Should we do green? Green to yellow? Plaid, spat. How dare you? So, Kansas City is sweet from brown sugar or molasses. You're doing yellow with red irises for your orc. That's cool. Yeah, I don't know what color would be neat. I think doing like a icy blue might be really cool, or like a deep green. Let me see what I can figure out here. Got the technology here to paint some eyeballs. I might need to get something with a little bit of red in it. So touch of burnt red. With the pale yellow. I just had a gnarly case of deja vu. Whoa, that's super weird that just happened. Whew. Ooh, purple could be cool. Her headdress is going to be like green and blue feathers. So I'll pick something that's going to work really well with that. I want to see his wet palette. Wonder if he has any secret paints on there he needs to zoom out for. Yeah, you guys can see it. Look, boom. Here, I'll even put it on camera. Look at that. Boom. Nothing to hide here. Nothing to hide here. Just, a boring old wet palette. I had this memory callback from it would have been like a month ago when I was painting something. I think I was painting eyes as well, and it just like froze me in place for a second. I was like, "What the heck is going on?" So Texas barbecue is similar, but it's more beef, where Kansas City is any meat, pork, chicken, lamb, you name it. We could smoke it and slather it. That's cool. I like chicken a lot, so I'd probably like Kansas City barbecue a lot. Bring right highlights here with the fine brush. We're kind of cutting back in those eyes here now that we've put the eyeballs in there. We just kind of pick a color. Ooh, shoot. Punisher. Oh, hey, what's up, Punisher? Not an expert, but I think the big ones are Kansas style with thick sweet sauce, Carolina with either mustard or vinegar based sauce, Memphis with dry rub, and Texas is usually more salt and pepper, letting the meat and smoke shine. Okay. They kind of just, Texas is more like you get the beef, and the beef is going to do all the work instead of adding a bunch of other stuff to it. Man, let me tell you, I miss having a barbecue. I freaking love having a barbecue. We have like community ones at my apartment complex, but it's kind of weird. I don't know if I want to get into doing that. But it would be freaking awesome. Very lightly getting in there. Pulling some of that detail out. Get down here. I bet we can talk Punisher into smoking some meat. Where are you guys at? Schmidt, you're in Texas, right? Or am I crazy? I might be crazy. But I feel like I remember hearing that you're in Texas. You find it funny that the snake's head is so small? It is kind of weird, isn't it? It's got this like gigantic body, and then it gets all like, ooh, super teeny tiny up, and then it's got like teeny tiny little wings, and then a face. Very weird. Houston, nice. It's a magic snake. I mean, it is supposed to represent the Quetzalcoatl. Pretty sure. Snake open mouth real big. Maybe it's just finishing eating food. And this is all food in its stomach. It ate someone. I gotta pull out some more of this warm brown. Yep, that is what it is. So we're gonna grab some warm brown. Put this down so you guys doing. I might even just pull this here, right here. Pull this glaze forward just a little bit. Some of that oranginess to it. Working on some of these in shadow areas. Arm, underneath the arm. Getting to kind of where some of these weird angles are at in here. On this end. Still trying to get this belly area to kind of be the right level of bright and shadow, because we don't really want a ton of, oh gosh, that comes there. Want it to be the right level of bright and shadow, but not be too much. It's got to be really subtle, because our muscles are not super well defined on our abdomen. So we're really trying to just smooth everything out as best that we can. And a lot more of this shape will come through in the levels of glazing and shading that we're going to do with that. This get kind of our mid-tone back. Hitting the elbow. I think about it, this elbow should probably catch a little bit of light, actually. So we're going to pull that back up. This leg. Y'all hear about the giant snake found in Florida? Phoenix, I can't pull it up. You gotta tell me about what it is, what's all about. Could have ended Florida's wildlife if left unchecked. Could have eaten gators? What? What on earth? So, okay, so T. Schmidt, I have some ideas, and I'm not 100% sure what I want to do yet. If I want to go for a more traditional depiction of Quetzalcoatl, it's like green and blue, kind of interchangeably, maybe with a red stripe kind of going through the side. The other options I was looking at some snake ideas that were native to the southern part of Mexico, which is where Mexico City and kind of the southern area of Mexico is where the Aztec civilization was from. So there's a lot of really beautiful snakes that are from there. There's a lot of like kind of patterned snakes where you have it's like jet black and then it'll go to like a white stripe and then a red stripe and then a white stripe, or I think it was the other way around where it's like red, white, red or something like that. And you can get them in that kind of like where it has that repeating sort of pattern all the way through the kind of ringing around the middle parts of the snake. Some have orange on them too, which I thought was really cool. I'm not 100% sure yet. I like where the lady's going right now. I kind of wanted to kind of refine where she's at, get her basically completely done, and then I can work on ironing out exactly what the snake's gonna look like. Because I'm not even sure what I'm gonna do her like loincloth tabard thing in. I could do it in blue, like a jade color even. I feel like I want to use some jade on this model. I think it would look really good. But I'm not 100% sure yet. We still gotta figure that part out. We got a little bit of a ways to go before we hit that. So I think we pulled too much of this shadow off to the side. So we gotta correct this from here. Bring it down. Get a little bit more brightness back in here. Get a new paper towel here because it's getting a little gross. Nice fresh one. All my brushes on. There we go. And here. Articulated pythons are all over Florida, and they definitely get that big. How big do they get, Tim? We're talking about stuff that eats alligators. I mean, that's quite large, right? I'm gonna take a moment and have a little bit of a snack. It's getting around to snack part of the stream. 20 feet? What the heck? That's ridiculous. That's actually insane. That they get 20 feet long. I'm not really scared of snakes, but I definitely have a healthy appreciation for how dangerous they can be. They keep growing till they die. Wow. 19-foot, 215-pound python. Ugh. Yeah, Mo, it's definitely a Quetzalcoatl. Definitely want to go in that direction. Been on a snake kick lately? Wife hates him. Do you guys get a lot of snakes down in Texas? Your lady comes uncorked when she sees a snake. They don't bother you much. Yeah, they're kind of, it's weird that I get so weirded out by bugs, but like snakes don't really bother me. You got a ball python that just turned 5. She's from my brother's first clutch of eggs as a breeder. That's cool. I have to admit, they're pretty cool animals. They're very, very fascinating. And so in here, blend some of this out. Arm shading. Like that. Glazing this down. It's all about the push and pull, everyone. We're gonna get there eventually. We gotta push and pull these little blends forward and backward until we get nice transitions, nice color. I really like how this is all looking down here. Belly's starting to look pretty much where I want it to be. This hip's kind of difficult because it's got this stupid crescent moon thing in front of it, which is obnoxious to get around. You're gonna go see. Oh, gotta run. Going to see MI7. See you tomorrow. Paint liquor. What the heck? Let's see here. Solo. Quick question, Baby J. I see you wipe the paint here and there. Is it too much paint or is it to blend? When you're talking about when I'm wiping too much paint, or is it like when I'm wiping on my thumb or the palette, like this? Like if I have paint on my brush, so let's say I'm like here, right? Is it when I do stuff like this on the model? When I wipe paint, are you talking about like with my finger? Oh, finger on mini. Yeah, it's to blend it out, kind of like smudge the paint, right? So if I were to do it on like my hand, right, and I'll put some of this paint on here, kind of going to there, and I go, ooh, I messed up a little bit. I can go through and I can go, while it's still wet, I can kind of smudge the transition a little bit. Yeah, it kind of softens that edge. That's kind of the general idea of what I'm doing there. It's one of those like, ooh, I messed up a little bit. Let me try and pull some of this paint off, while also like giving it a little bit of like a textured blend as well. And it's really quick. It works really well to get like pretty good texture on there. I'd give it a try. I'm really sad. I want to see Oppenheimer, which comes out on Friday, but I'm going to be out of town. So I don't know if I'm going to be able to go see it until I get back. Which sounds like fun, to be honest. I bet that movie is really good. Has a lot of actors that I really like in it. And I like period flicks, so give me a movie that's all about World War II, and I'm in. Yeah, Cillian Murphy is a great actor. It's really funny that he's done a ton of movies with Christopher Nolan, and he just never really got around to having like a leading role in any of them until this film. But apparently, like from what I read, Christopher Nolan likes working with him a lot, so we'd always find him like other roles. Oh yeah, Peaky Blinders is fantastic. I have a ways to go to catch up on that too, because I go through phases where I'll like watch one show for a little while, and then something will come up and I'll switch to a different show for a little bit. So I have this tendency to always have perpetually unfinished shows. Which is a bit obnoxious, but one day we'll get through all the shows that I want to finish watching. Hello. Oh, not hello. Somebody almost opened the door. All right. Oh, let's see here. I am on board with where this is going. I give the rest of the show today, and maybe a touch of tomorrow, and the skin will all be done. Maybe not even. To be honest, I'd probably finish it today if I really try and push. At least get to the point where I would want to start doing some airbrush glazes on it, maybe. Yeah, it looks really good, man. What do you mean you're running low on stuff, Mo? There's always more stuff to watch, man. Just gotta go find it. That or watch some stuff that's not quite as good, which I do from time to time. Sometimes you just gotta watch some trashy television that is just fun, or that you genuinely like because you're allowed to have preferences. All right, so we're looking good there. Good here. Let me see if I can't get a little bit more of this collarbone to match up. Looks like it kind of bends back in a way. So I'm gonna leave this area behind in a little bit more shadow. Alright, that's looking good. A little bit of a further highlight on forearm. That up. Yeah, we made some serious headway today. Holy crap. Model's like unrecognizable to what it was earlier today. I'm very happy with that. You're going through the Ted Lasso stuff right now. It's something else in a good way. Ted Lasso is actually amazing. It's an amazing show. You can't, yeah, I can't say enough good things about that show. I just can't. It's so good. It's like a Hallmark show for guys. Oh my god, that's such an amazing analogy for it. Oh, it's like a Hallmark show for guys. Oh my goodness. Wow, that's hilarious. And kind of on the money, too. It's just that warm and fuzzy feel good show that none of us knew that we needed, but we got anyways. Man, I hate this hand being here. It's actually the worst. What the heck? Oh? Hello? Jakob. Hola, Jakob. How for do you do? Yes, you do. You do. You're done. You're here. You've done the thing. Hello. Hello.
Oh, Mister, I don't talk on stream is in here.
Yeah, he's stealing your spot.
All the fucking Funyuns? What's going on here?
I had one. I
Two?
haven't opened the other one yet.
2 bags of Funyuns.
Okay, it was just in case.
What the hell? Who is this guy?
Oh my gosh, you guys are both hanging out?
Oh, my damn chips.
Oh, let me put the chair cam on.
Taking all the damn chips. The hell is this guy? Taking all the damn chips. You come in here and he's got like 50% of the snack freaking cabinet at his desk.
I do not.
That guy. Can't trust him. Leave him alone for however long it's been. 2 hours. 2 hours. 2 hours. My God, chat.
Little Potter, when the 3 J's combine, we know work is done.
We know work is done. My work is never done.
I was about to say, work is never done.
T. Schmidt, howdy. What's going on, everybody? Sorry I was not able to join you for the painting festivities today. Hopefully Baby J hasn't lied to you too much.
Just a little bit. Inappropriate amount.
An appropriate amount of lying. Does Go Bag Evo come with the paint foam? Yes! Yeah, I'm always surprised why people ask whether it comes with the paint foam. There's not a picture anywhere of it without it.
It literally says in the... So, you know, it's actually really interesting. I had a conversation with somebody on Facebook.
I saw that, and he was like, well, it shows it without it. And I was like,
no, it literally says in the description...
Comes with paint foam.
Comes with paint foam.
Side
and
wings,
he was talking
paint foam.
about the asterisk at the very bottom
Uh-huh.
that says that items in the picture do not come with the thing.
Not included with all the hobby supplies in the picture.
Correct. And for whatever reason...
Should I get more specific with that and say it does not come with the paint, the tools?
Maybe.
Yeah, maybe so.
Yeah.
Maybe so. I can get it. I see.
Yeah.
You just got some fun news, T. Schmidt. Mr. Citadel of Ski will be working at your store. Oh, look at that. What the hell's up with Ski, man? He just kind of drops in and out of the world. Tell him hello. But yeah, Oni, it does definitely come with a paint foam. He told you all the secrets? Well, he doesn't know any of the real secrets, so. We don't tell. Yeah, look at Jen. Jen's like, Ski! We love Ski. I hope he's doing all right. You are now part of the chair people.
You're a part.
Even though you sit on the chair and stare at Digiman's crap. He's only, literally, Jacob's only in here. See this guy? He's only in here because of comfort. He's using us for comfy chairs. You don't even care. This could be your leap to fame, Jacob. And yet, you refuse. You're afraid of the microphone.
He's a judge now.
Show us on the microphone where it's touched you poorly.
Oh my gosh.
See? He's like the whole thing is what he said. Somebody lobbed a microphone at him when he was young.
That's so funny.
Little known fact about Jacob, his father was a traveling banjo player. And as a banjo player, you have to have not one but 2 microphones. One for the instrument itself and one for that crazy yodeling that he used to do. And he was world renowned for his yodeling and his banjo playing. And but the problem was when he would come home late from banjo touring, and Jacob, as a kid, as you do, he would act up. He was very happy to see his dad. And so his dad would throw not one but two microphones at him. And ever since, Jacob's he's afraid of microphones.
May or may not be true. I can't confirm or deny.
I neither confirm nor deny.
I'm leaning towards the fact that this is, in fact, true.
I know everything. I know little bits and pieces of everything, and I just kind of put it all together and make interesting stories out of it. So you can consider everything that comes out of my mouth close to true.
Close to true.
True adjacent.
How adjacent are we talking?
Everything I say is truth adjacent.
Are we talking like a country mile adjacent, or like...
I mean, how long is a
Next
piece
door
of string
neighbor?
anyway? It's about that long. It's close.
Yeah, okay.
Solo says, hey, my giveaway go bag Evo gift came from Element today. I know, right? Jen told me that you got it like overnight.
Wow, that's crazy.
How silly is that? The guys at Element Games absolutely knocking it out of the park. That was tremendous. Glad you got it. Hope you like it.
Yeah.
Now you have to do your part, Solo. Remember, your job, right? Your mission impossible is to flaunt that damn bag all over the EU, UK. I need you to travel all over the place. Don't go to Paris. I think it's burning. But other than that, you can go to everywhere else. And I want you to show the wonderful hobbyists of the other world how wonderful the Evo Go Bag is. Because they don't know. They're still back in the Stone Age buying wood cases from that company over there. Somebody told me about the wood thing, and it's a unique case. It's fun. But I was like, yeah, I think they stopped making suitcases and stuff out of wood, like in the 1800s. Phoenix Mercer says, so this is art, correct, guys? Which, me or Jacob?
A little bit of column A, a little bit of column B.
Yeah.
And a lot of column C.
And a lot of column C. Do we have a third choice? I don't know. This is indeed artwork. The video's on delay because I'm watching it on my phone, so I can do like this.
Oh, yeah.
And then put my hand down.
It's really weird.
And then I get to watch. See? And then my hand does it. Right, like there. Right. But see, they're hearing it in the delay too, so they're not going to get it. Only I get it. This is my own little fun time. Happy fun time with Jason. I've had a hard day.
Yeah?
Yeah, it's been a hard day.
Yeah. Well, I can usually tell when you don't get a chance, like when you have to
if I'm not on stream, it's probably
minute.
been a hard day. It doesn't mean that all the hard stuff is not also good stuff, but some of this was a little rough around the edges.
I'm sorry to hear that. Hopefully a little bit of stream at the end of the day can help raise your spirits.
War Master Paints, we do know I've had an Evo since Element got their first bed. That's awesome. War Master Paints holding it down. They are so good. We had a shot from a class, and I can't remember who it was, if it was like Mohand Art or one of the European painters who was teaching a class, and there were 2 Evo bags in the class. I was like, hold it down. That's awesome.
Yeah, that's super cool. I love seeing people with Evo bags out in the wild. It's amazing.
Well, like Sergio Calvo used one at Adepticon when he did that impromptu.
I remember this.
That impromptu class session,
thing. Yeah.
right? And he loved it. And then after Adepticon, at Adepticon we talked for a long time. We sat down, had a drink, talked for a long time. And he was like, after the show, he was like, contact me. And I said, I'll get you a bag for sure, and then we can talk about how you can use it in your classes, yada yada. He was really excited. So then I reached out to him, and I got it like a secretary or something who hadn't been part of the conversation and was like, doing the
run around thing,
the arm's length thing that you do because he gets contacted by 50 million people all the time.
Yeah. When you're like, just tell him that it's me. He'll know.
Hey gang, I want everybody in chat to recognize Baby J knows how to paint. Look at that skin. It's glorious.
It's really coming together.
Glorious.
It's been a process, to be honest.
Phoenix, yeah. We were told that this isn't really art. Painting miniature figurines is not artwork.
Art. Whatever.
You're just a tracer.
Yeah.
You're no better than an inker or a colorist for comic book art, Jordan.
Ow.
The art was already done for you. You don't even have to think that hard.
Well, you know what? People are entitled to their opinions, and they're also allowed to be wrong.
The skin on his right thumb. Yeah, look how well he paints skin. Looks so realistic. Look at those hands. Warmaster said I had to move a couple months ago. Having the Evo bag to keep all my core hobby materials in was a godsend. Isn't it, though? You know, it's so amazing. Like, we don't, like, because our studio's here at the shop, right? I don't have to, I don't take it home to paint very often, or if ever. But when we go to shows, it's so easy. You take a minute to pack it up, make sure you got all the right stuff in it, then you just toss it over your shoulder, you're done. Done. You get there, you got it. Well, or unless you're like me and you're just really bad at packing, at which point in time you get there and you have like half of what you really needed. But it's the E for effort part that makes it worth it, right? Phoenix says, so we can eat the paint. No. Don't eat the paint.
Don't eat the paint.
By the way, for those of you who collect all of the fabulous stickers that come in our orders when you order from Monument Hobbies, there may or may not be a Don't Eat the Paint sticker in the next batch.
Don't get your hopes up, though. He said may or may not.
Along with a really great surprise sticker that I think people are going to love. Gabe made a really good one. No, there is candy in the shape of the paint. Oh. There is? I didn't know this. I didn't do it. Did we get like muffins, like Pro Acryl shaped muffin tins?
I have a funny thing we can talk about later with regards to.
Oh, I'm not looking at Discord, Phoenix. I don't know what you're talking about. I will look. Can I look? Oh
Did somebody make some candy in the shape of a bottle of Pro Acryl?
I'm sure.
That would make me laugh.
Where is it? Where is it? What channel is it in?
Food, maybe?
Maybe
stuff?
food? Nerd food? I'm going to look at nerd food. The barbecue sauce game just got serious. Wait a minute, what is it?
Is
Tim and all
showing
his
up?
barbecue sauce.
Oh, my goodness. Making me hungry, Tim.
Nah, there's nothing here except for a big hamburger bun with 80 million slices of cheese in it.
Can you believe that they're serving that stuff to people?
Yes. Next question. Of course I can. You know? What did they said it was like the vegan burger, right?
Yeah, it's like
except unless that's
Thailand or
soy
something.
cheese, they're lying. It's a vegetarian at best. Oh, the Bob Ross candy stuff. Yeah.
Hello. Hi,
Yeah,
John.
we're all kind of zombified today.
Oh,
It's been a heck of
no.
a day. Here comes Jen. Sliding into frame. Gonna get on the chair. Yep. It's room for two here. Oh, there you go. The J&J show. Well, the J and J show. Except he doesn't count because he doesn't ever talk. Like, how do you get Jacob to talk on a microphone?
What do you want me to say?
The things.
Just join in the conversation.
Talking about cheeseburger with 8 million cheese slices.
Yeah.
And I'm sure you have something to say about that. You would eat that.
Maybe.
Dude, you would eat that.
Maybe.
Dude,
I think you
I still
definitely
remember.
would.
I will forever remember the day when you and I sat down and said, "You know what we're doing? We're blending up McDonald's meals."
You were like, I'm in.
Yeah, he was the first one. He was like supercharged. I'm doing it.
Jacob was?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah, he was.
He's the one
was
that
a
went
bad
whole.
influence.
He went whole hog when we drank the stuff too.
So,
I remember hearing that.
Yeah.
so Jason brought it up. I was like, oh, I have to make this happen. And then he like forgot about it, but I kept reminding him.
I didn't forget we didn't have a good Friday because there wasn't enough of us around. Everybody was always leaving. People were like jumping in and then jumping out. But then it all the pieces all fell together. It was like it's either today or never, and we did
We
it.
were like, we're doing it.
We did
Should've
it.
been never.
It should have been every day. What are you talking about?
Jen.
I'm gonna make you one. You're gonna love it.
No.
Guess what's for dinner tonight, honey?
If there's ice cream and strawberries, just those things, the milk.
That's exactly how I'm gonna make it. It's just gonna be all the things you said, with my little special touch. And that
I'm
special
not
touch
making- I'm
is
not
a Big
gonna
Mac.
drink anything that you give me that came from.
Oh, come on. Come on. What if you get like a root canal and all you can do
what?
is drink through a straw?
I'll eat soup. Fine.
I will blend your soup,
No, you don't need to blend.
but I
get
will do it
tomato.
anyway. How am I going to sneak a hamburger into your soup if I don't blend it?
I don't want a hamburger snuck into my soup. That's the thing.
I'm going to get a matter readjustment, Ray. I need chat. I need somebody out in chat to send me a matter reconfigurator that
Like
turns
Willy
burgers
Wonka?
to soup so that we can have Jen. Hey, babe, you want some soup for dinner? Oh, yeah, honey, that sounds great.
Are you talking about like,
Big Mac.
Like Willy Wonka, where
Not really at all, but okay.
I remember.
I mean, I remember that, but no, that's not what I'm saying. I'm going to have a matter ray that when you shoot things with it, it turns it from one thing to another thing, like solids to liquids, you know, dirt to gold. Well, you got to also have hamburger soup if you're going to do dirt to gold.
that's
Just,
I
Jacob
mean,
and I
I'm
will
gonna be
eat the
honest.
hell out of some
I
hamburger
mean, when
soup.
you say
Hamburger soup's
soup,
pretty
that doesn't
good.
sound bad. That does not.
That's what we
have it
did.
in a
We
blender.
blended up hamburger
that's
soup.
not-
No,
Jacob,
it
didn't we have
was
hamburger soup? That's pretty much what it was.
no, it
Mine
was more
was.
of like a hamburger gruel.
Yours was, yeah.
Hamburger slop.
Mine was like dog slop. Mine was really thick. I should not have done it with the shake.
Yeah.
Spatsnat said last week I took the Evo bag out to a local store painting meetup for the first time. It was revered to the Cadillac. Oh, it was revered to the Cadillac of paint setups. Referred to as the Cadillac of paint. That's awesome, Spats. Doing the Lord's work right there. That's awesome. Well, you got to go to the grocery store
I know.
and get us prison dinner
I know.
and pet the dog. Make sure to check that wall.
Right, bye.
I'm just reminding you. It's easy to forget that stuff.
Okay. Bye, everybody.
Bye, babe.
Bye, Jen. See you tomorrow.
Team J is what Mo says. What's going on, Mo?
Team J. So an alchemy ray gun. I mean,
Punisher says, after today's
Sounds good.
conversations, I'm really in the mood for some barbecue.
yeah, barbecue sounds so good right now.
Does it, though?
It kind of does.
I never really get in the mood for barbecue. I mean, I like barbecue, but I don't know that it's ever a thing I'm craving. Jen would probably argue. She'd probably say, oh, there's times. We used to live right around the corner from Frasher's here in Central Phoenix, and so it was easy because it was like literally 5 minutes away. You jump on Indian School, it was right there. So that was easy. But the now there's no barbecue like super close. We would still have to go to Frasher's. Like Bobby Q's here in town is pretty good, but that's like a full on like, are you ready to go out to dinner kind of thing.
Yeah.
T. Schmidt said cuteness overload. Jacob,
Yep.
I could get you a date. T. Schmidt, he's single right now. Punisher says, is there anyone who could put in a hero's effort trying to conquer that cheese sandwich? You believe in Jacob? I think Jacob. How many wings did you eat? All of them?
When was this?
I don't know. Whenever.
For wings, what do you mean?
I don't know. Oh, hey, by the way, to interrupt our conversation, last Friday, why were there like 9 hot dogs left in the refrigerator? Were you stocking up for the next week?
That was not me.
They were the hot dogs you went and bought.
Oh, I wasn't stocking up for a week. That was Brennan. He requested he get 9 hot dogs.
And did he take them home?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Hope so.
I don't know.
I hope so.
They were here after everybody left, but he stayed late playing cards, so maybe that's it.
Yeah, he was playing Shatterpoint.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. He played some. No, he didn't. I think he played cards. Who played Shatterpoint?
He did both.
He did both.
Oh, did he? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did both.
That was not me.
Phoenix Mercer says, what did you do today, Jacob? What's your favorite tabletop game so far?
First one's easy. I woke up, got here, filled orders, customers, and filled orders.
Now I'm here. Another glorious day in the
Oh.
core. 4.
Tabletop game. 9 hours. 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 I don't think I have a favorite right now, but Age of Sigmar is one I've been playing. I've had the most.
Yeah. He plays dead things. He plays all the dead things.
He does.
They're
He
cool.
tries to.
Actually, not all. You don't have the ghouly ones. Flesh eater
True.
records. They're not technically dead, though, I guess, right?
Wait, really?
Okay, well I think they're technically dead, but they're not.
Right.
That's
Okay, gotcha.
I need.
Automaton says, sandwiches are for dinner. What kind? Ice cream. Ice cream sandwich. Dinner food or no?
Yes.
I would say yes. It is technically a sandwich, and so if sandwiches can be eaten for dinner, I don't know that you really want to get into that conversation where you start saying, well, but... I'm like, no, it's written on the package. Sandwiches are for dinner. This says sandwich right there.
So
Don't
I'm
forget
gonna
the
eat
ice cream part. And you know what? If you're a grown-ass adult, you eat what you want. When you want. Just ask Jen. She eats her dessert before she eats her dinner.
Serious?
Sometimes. She's crazy. Views went from slacking to slacking harder. Today, I have not slacked for even a 30-second time frame today.
No, not at all.
I have been on it, man. We got the pre-orders out to stores yesterday for all of the signature sets. All of the orders started rolling in today. I got all the system stuff done so that we have them in the system to be able to create the orders manually on our end so that we know how to forecast for all of that. What else did we do today? Good God, I feel like we did a ton today. Been a lot of graphic update stuff. We've been busy. We've been pounding. Gabe. Poor Jabe. Jabe, every 5 minutes, I was like, Gabe, I need this. Gabe, I need that. Gabe, you need to change the text on this graphic. Gabe, where are these? Gabe, send me that link. Swear to God, man. Gabe was a trooper today. Came through with flying colors. One of the things I asked him for, the link was before I was done typing my message that I needed it, he sent me the link. He started reading my mind. It's very weird. But Mo, like an alchemy ray gun? Exactly. Matter converter. I'm calling it that because I'm a sci-fi guy. Alchemy is for freaking fantasy nerds. Big Bob says Team Jen for sure. Liar. You meant Team Jason. Your keyboard's weird.
Yeah, I think when you were putting it back together, you put two keys on backwards.
Tim said, I just went to the grocery store to get a salmon fillet for my second annual H×C barbecue. H×C means hardcore, but I'm not going to give him the benefit of knowing that. I'm going to say it he expects everybody to know what that means.
I don't know what that means.
Because he's from Pennsylvania. I'm a brisket and cold smoked salmon. Salmon is good sometimes, but I fell away from it years ago and haven't really ever gone back. That sounds good. Hardcore barbecue. We used to go to hardcore bowling down in San Diego. You have a cookout. But then I found my calling was to go out with old dilapidated punk rockers and ride motorcycles out to the country and camp. Been to too many concerts. Don't need any more of those. I'm going to put PA on the map for barbecue. I don't think that's capable. Lumberjack Tim, are both of you wearing jeans? Who? Jacob's wearing jeans. I'm wearing jeans. Jen was probably wearing jeans. Jordan's wearing basketball shorts. His sexy legs. We can see him from right here. We got the leg cam going on here.
Can we get the leg cam?
We got crotch cam going on.
Oh
Hey
my
Jordan,
God.
we're uncomfortably staring at your nether regions right now. There is no vanity panel. He just mooned us. Jordan literally just turned around and showed butt. Mo says the alchemy was the fantasy, the ray gun was the sci-fi part. Only barely, man. Just get a replicator. Well, by the virtue of its name, replicator can only replicate things. You need a matter converter. Because I'm trying to make a hamburger into soup. Hillbilly hardcore best music style. Oh my God, Sapo. You're killing me here. You're killing me. You're killing me here. Hillbilly hardcore. Yeah, I really am. I'm so old fogey. I'm like, stop breaking music down into all these smaller and smaller little pigeonholes to put it in. Just call it rock and roll and be happy with it. War Pigment says, love PA barbecue is epic. Hamburger into soup? You need a blender. Spats Not, were you not here for that whole conversation? Where Jen was telling me she was never going to trust me with a blender again? we used her macerator, her food processor, for doing all that stuff too. Really? I swore to God she was going to get so mad at us. She didn't though. She let me live, chat. She let me live.
She let me live. All right. Time to punch up the volume a little bit. And by volume, I mean value.
Pump up the volume.
Pump up the volume.
Pump up the volume. Baby J, what's your palette for the skin? Brown.
It is 3 colors.
And not brown.
It is... give me 2 seconds. Sorry.
Warm flesh.
Actually, no. There's no warm flesh in this.
Dark warm flesh.
None of that either. It is now golden brown. Warm brown.
Orange transparent.
And a little bit of the orange transparent. Oh, sorry, 4 colors I lied. Where is it? And a little bit of pale yellow. For les highlights. We are going to be going through and doing a bunch of glazes over this to do a lot of color shifting. Probably some airbrush glazes as well to smooth things out.
Bluegrass, country, punk,
Doesn't
and metal
need much.
all smashed into one. That sounds like a train wreck. Tim says, but what about deathcore, grindcore, death metal, sludge, black metal, hardcore, beatdown? Those are not the same. They're all the same thing. You don't need to break everything down just so you can have a different pair of shoes for it. It's mostly the same as your marine tabard, he said. E. Schmidt says. Did he use the same colors for his marine tabard?
Yeah, actually. I pretty much did. I did the tabard and was like, oh, these are kind of just like exactly the colors I need for this.
Just say it's cheeseburger gazpacho. That doesn't sound bad. It doesn't sound like words you really intend to have next to one another, but I'm okay with it.
It doesn't sound like something I'd want to eat, though.
War Pigment said, when did we start the comfy couch? It's been a few weeks. We bought these a month or so ago.
Yeah, about a month ago.
And then we've been slowly arranging the studio to allow for chair cam and stuff. We have a bunch of new equipment that came in that we're going to rewire. I got to talk to Gabe. I don't know when that's going to happen. It probably has to happen like on a weekend, or he's going to pre-wire everything and then we'll swap it over on a Tuesday or Thursday. But yeah, we have a gaming table over there, a bar height gaming table. We've got a production desk going in, and then we have the comfy chairs and the painting station. So it's kind of like the Monument party room. And depending on how we're all feeling on any given day, you might get somebody painting and somebody sleeping in the chair. That guy. It'll always be Jacob. He'll just come in and pass out on the chair.
He does do that.
And then, weren't you hanging with your head off of it once?
Yep. That happened.
Oh, here comes the explanation.
I was decompressing.
Okay.
That's what we're going to use.
That's what we're going to call it? All right. I couldn't see him. He can hide from me at my painting station because there's too many monitors and crap in the way for me to see.
He can also hide from me on this one. I can see you. I can't see him.
Damn, he's slick, this kid.
Why he always sits in that one?
What's darker, neutral gray or dark warm gray? Dark neutral gray is the darkest of the grays. Dark warm gray is a little brighter. Not by much. They're both dark colors, but if you want a very dark gray, dark neutral gray is the place to start. Although dark warm gray with like transparent black or black mixed in, it looks really good. because it has just a little bit more of that yellow warmth, that greenishness to it. So depends on what you're looking for. Both would work. I typically go dark neutral gray into dark warm gray when I'm doing like a dirty gray or like stone, or even as a basis for white. I really like the warm grays as a basis for white a lot more than the neutral grays in a lot of cases, because the neutral grays just make it a little too clean, I think, or a little too black and white. It doesn't have any other tone to it, so too
All
neutral,
right.
hence their name.
What color am I doing the eyeballs?
Flabbergastingly fantastic fuchsia.
She's gonna have clown face. Dope.
Huh?
I'm gonna paint her face like a clown.
You said her eyes.
Yeah, and then you gave me a weird response, so I gave you a weird counter response.
I gave you a color. You asked for a color. I said a color.
I'm not sure that's actually a color.
Fuchsia.
Oh, you said fuchsia. You said flabbergasting. Blah, 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 blah.
Flabbergastingly fantastic fuchsia.
Right.
That's just putting a lot of pressure on you to make it a really good fuchsia.
Green it is.
You didn't listen to me. You were about to do some Cruel Boys metal.
Cruel boys.
Electric salmon, says Phoenix. You need salmon eyes. Salmon. Gotta pronounce it right. It's
turquoise.
salmon. Emerald. I think they need to be bright.
Yeah.
They need to be a really bright contrast to that flesh. You know, a bright yellow greenish kind of color, like a really radiant green would be neat.
I'm planning on doing.
But he's doing a lot of Aztec style colors and everything else, so maybe not.
Yeah, it's like blues and greens and stuff. Gold armor.
So make it really trippy and do the white glazed cataract looking eyes.
Oh, that's interesting.
The witchy, like blind. You know, the pupils are all just milky.
Yeah.
Do something like that.
Okay. I think I know how I would do that.
I'm with Spats. They need to be plaid.
Plaid?
Yeah.
Yikes.
Plaid. Phoenix Mercer says snake eyes, like I did Shinobi.
Where's my worm gray? Worm gray.
Fluorescent orange with jade armor. On what? Does she have armor? She doesn't have any armor, does she?
You got boob armor.
Boob armor.
Boob armor. And if you can call that headdress armor, you really can't.
Can't really. I mean, if you're throwing rocks at her head, then it could be armor.
It's true.
She's not looking to go into combat anytime soon, I don't think.
No. No, I really don't think. Which is funny because, like, the snake's taken a couple of arrows for her.
Oh, I thought those... Yeah, you know, when I first saw that, I was like, is that in a quiver? No, that's literally, like, jutting out of the snake.
Mm-hmm.
The serpent.
The serpent.
That's the sacrifice part. Now I got it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
She must be important.
I guess so. Yeah.
Nipple protection is important.
True.
Jogger nipple is a thing. From chafing, from
Jogger
running.
nipple is a thing.
And you run.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my god, I can remember like hockey pads chafing the crap out of you.
Oh, is that a thing?
Oh yeah.
Oh wow. Never would have thought. But I guess it makes a lot of sense.
Hockey pads are only like mid-chest in their length. You can get them with like stomach pads, but a lot of times I didn't wear them. Unless I was in goal. If you're in goal and you're not wearing a stomach pad, you're an idiot. Jogger nipple. Tennis elbow. I have jogger nipple. Jogger nipple is one word, would be a great band name. Except change it to jugger. Jugger nipple. Instead of juggernaut. Hello, is this thing on? That was funny.
Ha ha.
Jugger nipple.
Ha
What are
ha.
you looking at over there? Pay attention to me. See what I have to deal with. See what I have to deal with. Just stop. It's horrible. But Just stop. I get no respect.
Jason, how do you like your steak done?
Is this a serious question, or am I
Yeah.
falling into a trap?
No, this is serious.
Medium rare.
Jordan, what about you?
Medium rare.
And you?
Oh.
Be careful with your answer here, because I'm going to tell you, there is one surefire way to never get invited back to the comfy chairs.
I'm like halfway between medium rare.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine. You're
That
a
is an
friend of the
acceptable
meat.
answer.
At medium rare.
It's
I do
like
medium rare
60-40.
because if they lean a little more into rare, I'm okay with it. And if they overcook it, it gives you a really good center point. A lot of people think that's medium. You know, they would think, oh, well, medium, that's the middle, so I'll go medium, because then they, you know, it's okay no matter which way they go. But you're wrong, because if they overcook medium, it's horrible, and you should be flogged in the town square, right, in front of all of your compatriots. Traitor. Heretic. We have a friend who orders his steak well done. Like, there's restaurants here in town that they won't even. They'll be like, sir, you can either not have meat or you can have it the way we cook it. We are not cooking it well done, and no, we will not bring you a fire. The chef will not allow you to destroy the meat. Medium well, says Phoenix Mercer. Horrible human. Medium well, I can't do. Medium, fine. It has to be medium or below in order for you to actually be a human. Anything above is space alien. So Phoenix has been outed live in chat as space alien. Lizard person.
Wow.
Lizard person likes his meat medium well.
An animal likes their.
You had some crappy meat, been sick before? So like, you can literally eat steak tartare and not have a problem. So it must have been old. That ain't a problem with cooking it. If you got sick off of beef, it was old. It doesn't matter how you cooked it. You were going to get sick. Would more towards the raw side be more towards the snake people? Hey, don't question my logic, Mo. If you ever want a chance to sit in the comfy chairs, you be nice to me. Medium well with two. Or Pigment says medium well with no burnt on medium. This isn't even like how language works, man. Medium well with to medium brunt, which I mean is burnt. Medium well with to medium burnt on the outside. Burnt on the outside. So you want to get that sear and kind of crunch on it even when it's rare, right? That's the whole point. You just high heat, flash, cook it quick so that you get that crunchy on the outside, but it's live on the inside. Or Pigman says I drop it on the coals. God. These people.
Yeah, I don't know.
How do you live? How do you go to sleep? How do you sleep with yourself at night? How do you sleep at night?
I don't know how people are doing this.
How do you sleep at night? No, I know. But I've had friends that just absolutely love like well done or medium well, and like you cut it and it's mostly gray on the inside. You know, there's very little pink, like maybe just a hairline of pink in the middle. And I'll take a bite of it, and I'm like, it just gets too gummy for me, right? It's just too chewy.
You should just give them a chew toy.
Yeah, well, yeah, it's like rawhide.
It's cheaper.
At
Yeah.
a point. But I mean, some people like that flavor. I don't like the texture, right? But it did take me a long time before I was willing to do like rare and medium rare. I think there's just an aversion to blood, right? I don't feel like you should bleed. Like, I don't feel like when I cut into my dinner, it should spurt blood all over my date. But you don't sleep, you're a soulless ginger. That just means you don't dream. That's how you do sous vide. Cook it in the water bath and sear it before you serve.
I hear that is actually a really good way to have steak.
It's supposed to be really good.
Yeah.
It's basically raw, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, you
It's
can
like
cook it to
tartare, but
pretty much whatever temperature you want. Like, you could probably cook it to well done if you wanted to.
really?
In a sous vide? Yeah.
Hmm.
You're basically just boiling it.
Like gray water.
Sort
It's
of.
like that's like
Like a controlled boil.
it's
basically.
like steak done by White Castle. You ever had White Castle burgers? Oh my god, it's horrible. It's like gray. We used to call it the gray water burger because in New York, when you went to White Castle, it was the old White Castle buildings and stuff, and you could see them with the little square patties floating in like the water. It was everything wrong. It's like I can't believe we're doing this, and it was like meat with like a dollop of mayonnaise and onions on like a slider. The fries were okay, but the burgers were horrid. And I had friends that were just like, that was what a burger was to them. Like it was White Castle or go broke. And then later in life, you found White Castle in like the frozen section at your grocery store.
And they got hyped. And we got...
Well, they never left New York, so they were still eating the real thing. But
Oh, yeah.
I was down here, and people were like, oh, you can get White Castle in the frozen section. I was like, yeah, but you could also get ice cream sandwiches. See how I tied that all back together?
Yep.
See how that's called a story loop, and that's good storytelling right there. That's how you do it. That's how you wrap up. All right, I'm done. Good night, Massachusetts.
Good night, Massachusetts.
Lumberjack Tim said White Castle is so good. I would expect no less from you, my friend.
Yeah.
Since an 1/8 inch of the top and bottom, sear those, slice an 1/8 inch off the top and bottom, sear those, slap them back on the raw middle section and serve.
Nope.
Slap them back on the raw middle section. That's how you would like for your steak to be. I don't want it blue, right? They used to call like tartare. It's like I don't want it to like moo when I put my fork in it. I need it to be cooked a little bit. Tim gets his tin sack. I always get a tin sack. Yeah, I couldn't do it, man. The gray meat just turned my stomach from looking at it. There's very few things. Well, I say that. There's probably a lot. But I can get by with stuff looking a little odd. But not that.
But not that.
Not that. I couldn't do it.
We draw the line at...
Yeah, we went through the drive-thru at White Castle in like Brooklyn. And they got like 32 burgers the first time I ever even heard of this place. And I was like, 32? And then I saw they were sliders. And I was like, oh, you guys are crazy. And then I got it. Number one, I don't like the diced onions. And I hate mayonnaise. And there was no cheese. I'm like, you guys are just wrong on, like, you had a chance, right? I don't know how many places I've been where a burger could be that wrong. It was like, wait. They cooked it how? They boiled it. Okay. Glitch Mythos says White Castle, never again. You and me, we're friends.
I have never had it, and I have no interest in partaking.
Lost almost 2 days dealing with the after effects of White Castle from eating it in Vegas. But yeah, that's just a bad story. That's like a movie script, right?
Late night, bad decisions.
Yeah.
Vegas, White Castle. Yeah.
Your friends always love White Castle. You never saw the appeal, especially with the runs they complained about. That's the thing, man. If you eat White Castle, you just know the next day is going to be a little hectic at the bathroom. I mean, to each their own, right? A lot of people like In-N-Out, and I don't like In-N-Out. You like In-N-Out?
I like it, but like it's not my favorite. I'm obsessed with like a lot of people
I
are.
still haven't been there. I thought about going on Sunday.
Yeah, the line's like forever long.
I literally, I was driving past it, and I took one look, and I was like, this is worse than Chick-fil-A, and I left.
Yeah, I was going to say, you know how to spend a day doing nothing but food-oriented stuff is you go to Chick-fil-A for breakfast.
Yep.
Right? Then you go get some Dutch Brothers coffee.
Yep.
And then by the time you're out of the Dutch Brothers line, it's time for like lunch, so you go to In-N-Out.
Yep.
And by the time you're done with In-N-Out, you go to bed.
Yep.
Because it takes that long to get through all those 3 lines.
Yeah,
it's stupid. I don't go to any of those places.
It's ridiculous.
I don't go to any of those places. Dutch Brothers coffee is horrible.
I've never liked it.
They have like 18 pounds of sugar in every cup they serve you.
I hate that nowadays.
And they make their chocolate. They make their hot chocolate with water.
Ugh.
It's water and powder.
That's
like,
a big no,
like
sir.
heathens. And then they're but In-N-Out has never been a thing of mine. When I would go on long motorcycle runs, we had a pack of guys that loved In-N-Out. Anytime they're from the East Coast, and so anytime they could come out to the West and find it, they'd love it. So they go to In-N-Out, and man, I would just be like, "Ugh, I'm gonna go across the street to like something else, like Burger King over In-N-Out." Their fries are god awful. T. Schmidt says, "Water not okay." Yeah, like water and hot chocolate is how you do it when you're camping, right? Like in a pinch.
And that's acceptable because you're camping.
Yeah, and that you have to be camping light. Like if you're in a trailer, you better have milk.
Yeah.
Tim, take it easy, man.
See you, Tim.
Hope you got that flat fixed, okay? I mean, obviously you did.
Yeah. He had it fixed before he hopped into chat. He was about half an hour in when he popped in.
Flats suck.
Yeah, he's been having a rough go of it for the last week.
No
or so.
AC, flat tires.
Yeah.
It's just that time of the year, man. It's that time of the year. It's hot. The road doesn't like you. The rubber sticks to it more. Boy, that's a case out here, right? Have you been? Do you wear flip flops sometimes, don't you?
Very rarely.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I do when I'm like going places on the weekend. But...
I was gonna say Arizona will get you when you're first down here in the summer because you'll be wearing your flip flops and you'll go across a tarmac parking lot and your flip flops will literally stick to the ground and like pull your feet out. And then the worst thing is the next step.
Is when you step on it and you're like.
The next step after your flip flop sticking to tarmac is where your bare flesh sticks to tarmac.
Luckily, my feet are. I walk around barefoot most of the time at home, so like I'm pretty durable. My feet are pretty.
Oh
durable,
no, you're not.
Go
take your shoes off and go run around the parking lot real quick.
I think so.
Let's see how durable you are. There is no durable. We live in the land where a lot of people buy like shoes for their dogs.
Oh really?
Oh yeah.
Okay, never mind.
Oh yeah.
We're good. I'll pass.
Yeah. I don't know how my dog does it. She's brutal, but her paws are like big calluses.
Yeah.
Like they were like that when we got her. Her paws will tear you up. Just the paw, not the claw.
Geez.
The paw.
It's like sandpaper.
Because it's like sandpaper.
Yeah.
I mean, Jen would sand them, right?
Oh, wow.
File them down, and they get smooth, and then like a day later, they're right back. But yeah, she doesn't seem to mind it. But
that's so odd.
Yeah, they'll buy like shoes for their dogs because it'll burn their feet. I mean, it's 117 degrees, and the whole city's made out of concrete. So
yeah, that's
not
very true.
Not a fan. I remember last night I went to wash my hands. I swear to God, it was like 9:30, maybe 8 o'clock. All I wanted to do was wash my hands, and the water was scorching hot out of the cold faucet.
Oh, really?
Oh my God.
See, that's a thing I was not expecting.
Oh, it's horrible.
Was that
in summer there is no such thing as cold water comes from the refrigerator. That's it. That's it. The good thing is that if you have like gas or you know whatever your water heater is, you can just turn that bastard off in the summer. You can literally go to your water heater, turn it off, and just leave the water over on the cold side, and you will get warm showers all summer long.
That's funny. Yep.
You allow water at home and camping, only at home because children need cereal. Wait, teach me. I don't understand this. You allow water for hot chocolate at home because they need the milk in their cereal? No, what you need to do as a father is buy more damn milk. You heard me, T. Schmidt. It sounds like you need another gallon of milk is what you need. If the kids need milk on their cereal, they also need milk in their hot chocolate.
I concur. You're not going to get any help from me here.
Yeah, you're not going to find sympathy here.
Yeah.
Jason
and I are of a mind when it comes to chocolate milk in these parts.
Bad logic, my friend. I would say don't eat the cereal. If you're down to like, hey, our fridge can only hold 1 gallon of milk, then you forego cereal.
You forego cereal for
You're like, you know what?
Milk.
There is definitely enough sustenance in chocolate milk. Keep me going. I mean, that's how my world runs around here. Tuesdays and Thursdays are really rough for me because I do chocolate milk in the morning, And then I don't normally eat lunch. Like Monday, Wednesday, Friday when we do our hobby lunch, I have
it's
like
pretty
a
tough.
bag of that Chex Mix stuff, the Gardettos or whatever it's called. And then I go until I leave here and get dinner.
To be fair, I do offer to go grab you lunch as often as I can.
I don't want what you're having.
No.
You're always getting like, well, you
Hurts
actually
my
get good
soul.
stuff. So you almost always need another gallon of milk, especially right now after the new one is open. Especially right after the new one is open. You just need to get one of those milk trucks. Have them drop the trailer off in front of your house with a big hose. I read a story once. This is going to gross people out. So there was a deal where you had the what was it? The milk, or it was like ice cream delivery or something. It's something dairy, and it was in one of those tanker trucks, like gas trucks, right? They have a low point in the middle that everything funnels to, and that's where the hoses connect to offload them, you know. And so in the belly of this trailer and everything, and people were getting sick from the product, and they steam cleaned the whole thing out. They were really worried about it. They tested. There was no bacteria, nothing. Everything was good. But the fitting where the hose connected at the belly, that whole fitting would come off, and they'd clean it and test it, and it was all sterile and perfect. And then they'd put that old fitting back on there, and that old fitting had all that dairy crap collected in it, you know, like ice cream or whatever the hell was in the truck. It wasn't ice cream because it was like a tanker truck, but yogurt, whatever the hell it was, in this big industrial, you know, truck. And it was all because of the fitting where the hose connected. It was like massive amounts of bacteria build up, getting people sick.
Gross.
Yeah, so don't get the that's why the soft serve's always down at McDonald's.
Because it gets gross. You gotta clean it. Their soft serve's not even that bad. When it
No, but
works.
everybody always complains that soft serves never work at McDonald's, right? Like after a particular time, for some reason, you can't get soft serve at McDonald's. Why is that?
Don't want to clean the machine. Shit.
Like the night shift doesn't want to clean them?
Fast food.
Yeah, I feel like if you go try to get around here, especially if you want like a shake.
Oh, I remember that night you were talking about.
Oh my God, 5 places.
Ugh.
All I wanted was a chocolate shake.
I've done that.
All I wanted was a chocolate shake, and I drove to like 5 or 6 places, and they were all out of chocolate shakes. It was like 9 o'clock, you know. So for me, I'm like, and it was like a Friday night. It was after game night, and I
Yeah.
went to like 5 places. I swear to God, all I wanted was a chocolate shake, burger, chocolate shake, and there was like 5 or 6 places nobody had the chocolate shake machine. Nothing. Yours breaks the machine down for cleaning. Yeah. T. Schmidt says, any Aussies in chat today? Aussie. Oi, oi, oi. What are we talking about? Why? Phoenix says, hey, I clean the ice cream machine at my McDonald's. When does it take like 8 hours?
The world
Asking
must
for a
know.
friend.
The world must know.
It might. Like it might, just like I said on the truck, right? Like maybe they literally sterilize every small part, at which point in time they should just come out and say, listen, the reason why you can't get soft serve past like 7:30 at McDonald's is because we take this stuff seriously. We clean the crap out of this stuff.
Just schedule it. Just say, hey, can't get soft serve after this time. Because we're doing you a service and making sure that it's safe to consume.
I don't think that's the case.
No, probably not.
So the other night I was like, I forget, maybe it was a Friday again. It's usually game night because that's the only night where I'm really like, I leave here at like 8 or 9 and I'm like, okay, there's nothing really left for me, so I'm going to go get fast food. So I go to like fast food. So like, I think it was last Friday maybe, and there's an Arby's close to our new house. And so I was like, I'll get a roast beef sandwich. So I go by Arby's. Oh no, it was 8 o'clock. 8 o'clock. And so I go by Arby's at 7:59. And they have a sign out saying, oh, sorry, we're closing early today.
Talking about the one across
Where's the aquarium?
the street from.
I hate you.
Let me pull it up.
No, it was at the 17 in Thomas.
Yeah, there's an aquarium across the street. Well, it's not an aquarium. It's like a fish store, but.
All right, hold on, Jacob. I need to
Okay,
tell
wait a
you,
minute. It's not the ocean. It's a bathtub.
those two things are very, very, very different.
Did you go to the restaurant by the beach?
It's aquarium supplies.
Yeah, yeah, it was downtown.
Well, it's not a beach. It's basically just like a volleyball park. But, you know.
It's
Oh, it's a pool.
It's aquarium
It
supplies.
was a pool.
Aquarium supplies. It's a fish store. But you said, is it across the street from the aquarium? I'm like, no, it's not in Scottsdale where the aquarium is. Or...
I've gone there just to look at.
Oh my god. So to you, it is the aquarium.
Yeah.
It's like, look,
But
goldfish.
it's an aquarium supply store.
Oh my gosh.
Okay.
Yeah.
So yes, then it is the Arby's right across from the
Oh my
aquarium.
It's right before the freeway.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, well, I went by
That
there and it's like,
just
sorry, we're
happened.
closing early. I'm like, it's 7:59, and there were like 8 people in there, and I think they just all wanted to go to a party or something. Like, I'm like, did the owners know you're closing this store down?
Jack in the Box right next door. It's open 24 hours.
It is not open 24
but
hours.
I think they're open like 2 hours a day.
24 hours, just not in a row. That was the old one, right? It's like, we're open 24 hours, just not in a row. Like a week? Overnight, it goes into pasteurization at a certain time, and it takes 8 hours of heating and cooling, and gets deep cleaned every 2 weeks. Takes 4 to 6 hours to properly clean all parts and hoppers. So overnight, it goes into pasteurization at a certain time, and it takes 8 hours. So, okay, I can get that. If it does that every night, then I understand that. That makes sense. They should just say that, because there's all these like conspiracy theorists about why the soft serve machine never works at McDonald's. Everyone called McDonald's Macca's when you lived in Melbourne. Silly Aussies.
They are an interesting bunch.
New Zealanders. Kiwis. What are you doing right now, Jordan?
I am doing some really thin glazes to kind of smooth out a lot of these transitions and push the shadows in a little bit more. Just kind of refine the skin just a touch. You can see a lot of it coming through on the belly here. Here. Oop, that's where a paintbrush is. Here, did a little bit right there. Kind of that point where all the highlights are where they need to be for the most part, except for this shoulder, which I need to highlight a little bit. And I'm just kind of pushing the last few kind of smooth layers on to kind of finish it. But I think this angle is looking pretty good.
Looking good.
Got some nice definition on the hand, which I like. Doesn't look super weird. Leg is looking to be a good value. We retained a lot of that kind of like bronze skin tone that I was looking for, which is great. Yeah. Only take a few hours. Not a big deal.
Like 28. Phoenix says, but it does break
28?
at times, won't pump or cool the ice cream. Who needs cool ice cream, man? Just serve it warm, right?
Warm ice cream?
Hamburger
Yeah,
soup
yeah.
and warm ice cream. The cheeseburger. I mean, now we're just right back to blending up our McDonald's meal.
Yeah, don't tell Jen.
I feel like we've closed this circle. This whole loop has been closed of conversation. We are done. Our work is done here. Lawdog says an ex-Vox Giorno tracked down the reasons why the machines actually are broken more often at McDonald's than the same machine at other chains, and it's a pretty well-researched and interesting watch. Johnny Harris is the guy. What was the... Give us the long and short of it. I'm not going to watch it. I want you to go ahead and ruin it for Jacob. I want you to give us the spoilers. Is it because lazy humans? Or because they're like, you know what? We thought we'd leave some money in the poor people's hands. Because if the machine is working all the time, everybody would go there all the time. Their soft serve is, they only have vanilla, right?
Yeah.
They actually have chocolate.
I'm pretty sure soft serve is only vanilla.
Yeah, and then they put like chocolate syrup on it or stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, because their chocolate shakes at most places are vanilla soft serve with chocolate syrup, like Hershey's syrup in it.
Yeah.
Right. It's hard to find a place that does like a chocolate
Oh,
shake,
I found it.
like a chocolate shake.
Watching this tonight.
What's the meat at McDonald's really made of? Meat. For heat mode, if they don't put enough mix in or have too much, it won't heat or cool properly. The company makes a specific machine for McDonald's that is identical to the others they sell to other franchises, but they add a specific debug menu that is only available to authorized repairmen. What?
Heard that before.
So they have to wait for some specific guy to come and repair it?
That's really odd.
That sounds like that's some weirdness. Right? Like that's like they hired a CEO at one point in time who just needed to do something that was him. You know? I will be remembered. Soft serve will never work.
Soft serve will never work.
Right. I hope they fired that guy. And nobody else has been brave enough to step in. You know? Or maybe it's the current guy. Like, hey, boss, you know, you're an idiot.
I'm not an idiot. Like, well, you kind of are.
There's only 4 people in the world that know how to work on our soft serve machine. Have you looked at how many stores we have? Company name is Taylor, and you need a third party like Midwest repair to fix the machines. That sounds like an absolute horrible way to do that. Like, wouldn't you want to train somebody that works for you to work on your? I guess I wonder if all the machines at McDonald's are like that. Like, do you have to have a tech company come in to fix everything at McDonald's, or is there anybody in there? Sounds intentional, doesn't it? But it sounds like somebody's like nepotistic brother-in-law owns a repair place, and he's like, "Hey, can you put in this software on all of our stuff so that only my brother-in-law's company can come fix it?"
Jeez.
Oh, by the way, did I tell you that I own a 30% stake in my brother-in-law's company? Bye, Jacob. Have fun in whatever you're doing.
illegal.
I'm touching.
Oh. These chairs are comfortable, but you do kind of cramp up. You wonder if it's a liability thing? What are you talking about?
How can McDonald's equipment repair be a liability thing? That doesn't make any sense to me. Please explain.
I think the bigger liability for McDonald's is giving your people free food. But
Like free food.
actually, it's funny because if you look at the nutritional information, right? Like you remember that movie the guy did that was like, what was it? What do you call it?
Supersize Me?
Huh?
Supersize Me?
Supersize Me, right?
Yeah.
But when you look at the nutritional information, McDonald's is actually not very bad.
No. Not horrible. It's the same thing. I watched a video where a guy ate Taco Bell exclusively for 30 days. And he lost weight. He just like
Yeah, because you crapped it all out.
No. He just like ate the healthier things on the menu. He stayed away from all the like processed cheese and the like crappy stuff.
That's the part that would kill me, right? Is because they have stuff with
Yeah.
like you know, the ballpark cheese on it.
Right.
The
Which is
nacho
my
cheese.
favorite thing.
Anything with nacho cheese.
Oh man, I might go to Taco Bell. That sounds so
Disgusting.
good.
Uh-oh, we just lost Baby J.
Oh man,
He's
that
going to
sounds
crap
so
himself
good.
tonight. Have you guys ever heard of the right to repair issues? Wait a minute. Have you guys ever heard of the right to repair issues that? What?
I've heard about it.
What do you mean?
No, like you're not allowed to fix.
Okay, so you can, but you void warranties.
Yes.
So that's always been a thing, right? That's why it says, like, if you buy a piece of electronics, like a camera, that it voids the warranty. You'll see it like there'll be a
if you're
seal.
digging around on
If
it.
seal warranty void, if seal broken, they'll
Yeah.
put that to where if you have to separate the casing on electronics, you have to tear that seal. A lot of your AV receivers, I worked in that industry for decades, and we had to put those tamper seals on there to void the warranty because people would get in there and try to alter stuff, right?
Yeah.
Cars the same way. You chip your car so that you get more boost to the turbo. Things like that. That'll void the warranty on your car because now you're using it outside of the parameters that they wrote the warranty for. So I can understand that and the repair on it. But I mean, most farmers that I know don't give a damn because they're going to repair it forever and not care about a warranty, right?
What I've heard is that a lot of the new tractors have
Yeah.
software gets out if
Yeah. No, the seal means nothing legally. It does because you can choose to not warranty the product. You most definitely can. Yep. I've worked on this with the legal teams at the companies I've worked with. Having a tamper seal on electronics and stuff does actually have meaning legally. Most companies may not choose to use it, right? But like back in the day, you had the people that were authorized repair centers had to have those exact stickers that some of them had, like in the later days, had the, what do you call it? The, like the dollar bill has a holographic thing. They would have like holographic logos on the tape.
Oh, interesting.
And the authorized repair centers would have to have the same holographic sealing tape to reseal the electronics with. It was always there as something that you had to take into consideration for warranties on certain products, but I don't know that it ever was a big deal. I feel that a lot of companies do that as a safety mechanism to ensure that people won't jack with stuff, but yeah, I don't know. There's other companies like car companies that'll do it on the other way. Like if you put custom wheels on your car, there have been legal disputes on that because if you put custom wheels and or tires on your car that increase the radius of the wheel, or the diameter, obviously,
Out of spec.
that it's out of spec and voids the warranty because now you are using it in a situation where you have more or less revolutions per minute for the same power output and all of that. So putting more weight on a car, all that crap. I feel like a lot of it's just manufacturers wanting to get away from responsibility, but a lot of that can be drawn back to being problems. There was a football player for the Dallas Cowboys who will remain unnamed, but he was like 400 and some odd plus pound lineman. And he bought a Ford Expedition, I want to say, when they first came out. Was it an Expedition? Or whatever the mid-size Ford SUV at the time was. It was an Explorer, like an Expedition, and then a really big one. Or maybe the Expedition was anyway, he bought the middle one. And it was huge. And he had custom seat rails built for it. And they had to put in a counterballast in the car because they had to put extra weight in the passenger side front because he weighed so much that it was ruining the suspension on the driver's side. So they had to counterbalance the passenger side and give it stiffer suspension so that it would wear evenly so he didn't have to get his truck aligned like every 30 days, right?
That's hilarious.
And so, but all of that voided the warranty. And he had a big old discussion with us. He was like, yeah, they told me that as soon as I had to do all this stuff to the truck that they were going to void the warranty. He was like, I don't care. You bet it was Nate. I said it would remain nameless. Shock. The car stereo store that I worked for years and years and years and years and years and years and years back in college did work for him. And it was like, what the heck is this? The guy, the tech was trying to run wires for a battery cable to a big amplifier rack, and you take the floor carpeting up, and where you could normally find like grommets in the firewall and all of the things to run wiring through was like steel plate.
You're just like,
They had welded steel counterbalance plates to the firewall and everywhere
not
they could that wouldn't
sure.
raise seat levels up. So like in the footwell on the passenger side was shallower than the one on the driver's side. It was crazy.
So funny.
Yeah, we would get all sorts of crazy cars through that thing. All the ones for like when I was working in Austin, because I went to school down at University of Texas, and so when I was in Austin, the cars that would come through the place down there were like some government official and people's cars that were like fully bulletproof. There was a company down there that did like bulletproof vehicles for important people. You get those things in, and it's like, how am I supposed to work on this? You know, change the speakers in the door. You realize that's impossible, right? These doors are bulletproof.
I can't get in to
Look 'em.
repair them.
Horns up.
Yeah, I'm totally getting Taco Bell.
Nivek says, but it has been ruled on federally. I'd have to see that, yeah. I can't imagine that there's a federal ruling that you don't have to honor a warranty, because all warranties have stipulations. There is no, not that I know of, is there a legal precedent that says that the federal government can step in and say you have to warranty your product? You can outline your warranties. We do it. So I'd have to understand more on it to speak intelligently. Sticker on the power switch, warranty void if turned on. Well, they can't do that. Yes, okay. So that's a good point. Like there may be guidelines on how you can use that. I know that you can't prevent a person from opening something that they own. So at one point in time, we had to put the warranty voiding tamper seals on the connector points that kept the PCB on. And in electronics, what they started doing was putting metal housings over the PCB components so that you couldn't actually touch the board. And if you took that little aluminum box off of the PCB, that's where the tamper seal was. So it was internal to the component now. So they may have done that to where it can't rest on the outside of it, so that, you know, if you want to take it apart and take a look inside, you probably have a right to. But even that's tricky, right? Because there's, you don't have a right as a purchaser to know trade secrets of the company you bought stuff from. So if there's patentable, secret crap that they don't want out there, they can put it in a box. And if you open up that box, you can be held responsible for stuff. But I don't think that happens in the consumer world much. Leon Lett. Now we're talking old school. Nate Newton, Leon Lett. That was like the butt sweat. I remember John Madden. There was a picture of like the Dallas lineman. Maybe it was a Thanksgiving one where he's doing his turducken thing, or his 8-legged turkey. And he showed all the linemen, and they had the camera was shot, and they were all standing with their backs to the camera. And he paused the screen, and he did his draw on the teleprompter thing. And he drew, like, measuring the butt sweat of all of these 400-plus pound linemen for the Dallas Cowboys.
Oh, my gosh.
Oh, forever etched in my brain. You can't forget that. Even a senator was talking to a company CEO in a hearing on the Hill, said, "Why do I have to send my Xbox into you to fix a USB port or change out a fan that stopped working?" Well, that doesn't matter. All the senators in hearings are there for as publicity. They don't do anything out of those hearings anyway. But yeah, I get it. One of the problems though is that through the years we've made electronics disposable. In the particulars of electronics and getting them fixed, right? Is that I remember a time where there was a job to be had, or profession, not even a job, but a profession and a career to be had as an electronic repair person, right? You'd be like a TV repairman, right? Remember Spicoli in Fast Times? My dad's a TV repairman. He's got the ultimate set of tools, right? But those went the way of the buffalo. I can remember a little shop that was not too far down the street from my house where I grew up, and the guy had a TV repair shop, and he was also like a Curtis Mathis. Like you could go buy the TVs there, Curtis Mathis, and I forget what the other brand was, U.S. brands. And but that guy, he died because I'm sure he really died, but his business died because people stopped buying TVs that you would repair. We just had an LG flat panel die, and Jen got on the internet and looked on Google, and she said, you know what you do? You can fix these. All you got to do is this, 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 and this. And I was like, I mean, by the time you do that, you could go spend $250 on another brand new TV that's the same size. They've made it to where why would you repair it? Because you can't possibly survive as a repairman when the cost of a brand new one is very close to what they would pay you to fix the old one.
Yep.
Right? Because there's no such thing as like an antique console LCD panel that you want to keep around because it was your grandmother's.
Yeah.
You know?
Technology's always moving forward anyways.
Yeah, it's crazy though. You know, it used to be when it was new and there wasn't such lightning fast jumps in technological capability that you'd keep the same thing for a long time. I can remember having our big tube, 32-inch tube television was huge at the time, weighed like 8 million pounds. And had it repaired. Took it to the CRT guy, and the CRT guy had to replace like power supplies and tubes and all that stuff a couple of times on it because we couldn't afford to get a new one.
I think there's definitely a level with which it's worth getting it repaired. Like I have that TV at home that I want to get repaired. I have to call like Geek Squad to come out and take a look at it. I know what the problem is. I just don't know how to solder. And I need
is it like a $3,000 television?
Yeah.
Well, if it is, then yeah, you can.
Yeah. Well, it's not $3,000, but it's like $1,200.
Yeah.
Which is, I mean.
But there's a point for the normal bulk of spending.
Yeah. 100%.
Right? Because for everybody that buys a $2,000 television, there's a million people that bought the $450 one at Costco.
Yeah.
Right. And especially with flat panels now. I mean, hell, when you see Black Friday or these specials run around, you can get for like we bought a 42-incher for the office. It was like $149.
Yeah.
It's lasted for years.
Yeah. My other TV I think I bought was like $300. Like
there's nobody on the planet that can repair anything in that TV for less than the cost of the TV. That's what's so silly, right? But then you get Xbox and stuff that sits outside that frame, and they still want to have authorized repair places, iPhones, you know, stuff like that. There are still places where you can go and have people work on your iPhone. But I'd be interested to know, like, once they open up your iPhone, Apple won't warranty it anymore, I would assume.
Unless it's an authorized repair place from Apple.
Do they have those?
I think they do. I don't know, though.
I think Apple's like Amazon, right? You just take it back to the Apple store, and they either tell you got to buy a new one or, you know, because Apple's that company that tells you that after a certain period of time, they're just like, yeah, that's old. We're not doing anything about it. You know? You have like an iPad that doesn't charge anymore, and it's like if it's over 2 years old, they're like, you're screwed, buy a new one.
Yeah.
They're like, they've taken the stance that electronics get old. Sorry, dude. But then they also got, I think the government stepped in on Apple, right? In a suit because they had software in it that was causing it to get slower and slower and slower over time.
Yep.
Yeah. So that's some garbage. I don't know. I don't remember all the details on that, but
the updates that they were doing were causing the
older hardware
to fail. Yeah.
It's stupid. John Deere doesn't let you make basic repairs that would require you to need codes to reset the PC and the tractor, oil filter, air filter, etc. See, yeah, that seems criminal. Does John Deere have a right to repair issues? For years, John Deere had been at the center of the right to repair debate, and not in a good way. The company put software locks on equipment that only authorized dealers. Yeah, that's what Jacob was saying. Yeah, that's criminal. You know, criminal. Right to repair is about the idea that the company can't monopolize the repair device. Yeah, exactly. Concerns about the company's statements that consumers must use specified parts or service providers to keep their warranties intact unless warrantors provide the parts or services for free or receive a waiver from the FTC. Such statements generally are prohibited by the Magnuson-Moss Warranty Act. I'd have to read it. Warranty void stickers are illegal in the U.S. What about elsewhere? If you've ever opened up a gadget, maybe you've seen the sticker that says warranty void if removed. No need to put down your screwdriver. Those stickers aren't enforceable, really. Wow. When did all that take place? It's cheaper to buy a new printer than it is to fix it. Oh, just about everything nowadays, right? Just about everything. Everything is such short margins, you know. There used to be good money to be made in selling TVs. Now there's no way. You don't make any money selling a TV.
Nope. Those things. I mean, even back when I was selling TVs at Best Buy, like we got TVs at 5% over cost, and you wouldn't get a discount on the TV because there was just they made like tens of dollars on it.
Yeah, you couldn't.
Tens of dollars.
You couldn't. I owned a company that did recording studio design and builds and large audio production stuff, and we charge for our design services is where we made money, right? The fact that you were dealing with those of us that knew acoustical engineering, knew how to build it, but making money on the product was like, if we made 10%, it'd be amazing, right? Because it wasn't worth it.
My favorite thing to order at Wendy's.
There are Apple repair stores. I'm
gonna be honest.
That are
I
authorized.
don't order frequently enough from them to be able to tell you, because I don't really order Wendy's very much. A cheeseburger.
Louis Rossman is a
Of some
repairman
kind.
that can repair your MacBook for $100 and get it back within a week. Apple charges $1,000, might get it back in 6 months. Yeah, guaranteed obsolescence. Well, so having been basically a product inventor in the electronic world, we dealt with obsolescence from the get-go. Whenever you were designing a product, right, and you came up with an idea, once you got to your bill of materials listing, you had to start thinking about obsolescence, because you were at the risk that every capacitor and diode and transformer and tryout and switches and relays, everything was going to be obsolete that you put on your bill of materials. Most of it within 5 years, even more times 2 years. So as a manufacturer, you would order for 5 years production if you knew close to what you were going to be wanting to produce of this product inside 5 years. You'd order all of those raw materials at that point. Microprocessors were already tough because you got big bill of materials objects that cost so much, and so you can't just go out and buy a 5-year supply of processors all the time. ICs a little bit easier, but so you would take a look at that and you would say that, yeah, we don't plan to support this particular SKU past 5 years, right? But you would have to order enough parts to be able to handle customer service requests for longer, like maybe 10 years, on parts that were known to be, components of failure, amplifiers, mainly power supplies. And so you'd have to have a way to replace. But there were lots of times where we would have to go in and basically re-engineer a component inside of an existing product because parts weren't made any longer. And so you'd have to go in and figure out how you could make it again. That stuff sucks.
All right. I'm done noodling on this right now.
But yeah, I think you should have the right to repair your stuff, but it should also be something where the manufacturer, if you've gone in and tinkered with it and then you want to send it in for warranty repair and that tinker can be proved to have been the fault, there's where you get that weird gray area, right? Because who's going to be the determining factor on whether or not that's true? The manufacturer is always going to say, well, you tinkered with it, so you screwed it up, right? And to be honest, 9 times out of 10, they're probably right? Because we all know a shade tree mechanic, It's like, oh, yeah, man, I can fix your TV. Jordan, give your TV to me, man. I'll get it back to you. Give me $50 and buy me a pizza.
I mean, ironically enough, you probably could fix it.
Well, I'm not offering, so that's not. Pretend it wasn't me. Pretend it was Jacob that just said he'd fix your TV for $50.
Yeah, he's a snake oil salesman.
It turns out Jacob's like a TV, because his dad not only played banjo and yodeled, but was a TV repairman, and he just got it genetically.
He got
He's
it
just passed on his TV repair capabilities
Oh my
genetically.
gosh.
His superpower is that he can
Leaving?
fix all TVs.
Bye.
All right, man. Have a good one.
Do a couple more things because I'm
But I get it from both sides. As a consumer, I definitely, because I'm a tinkerer, right? I'm a guy that loves to when I was a kid, I would take all my grandmother's electronics apart just because I was interested to see what made them tick. And some of the time I got them back together and they worked. She had oh my God, I'm not going to remember the company. It's an old antique vacuum cleaner. Started with E. That's all I can remember. But she had this, it was like a tank, like a cylinder on 4 wheels that you would pull around that was the vacuum cleaner. And then it had a big hose with a wand on it that you'd vacuum the floor with. And it wasn't working. And she couldn't figure it out. And so she just wasn't vacuuming. And so she was gone one day. And I don't remember how old I was. Maybe I was 10, 9. I got the screwdrivers and I took that damn thing apart and fixed it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, she got home and her vacuum cleaner worked again. Eureka? No. That doesn't sound right. I know Evan Rood is motors for boats, but it sounds more like that. I don't remember what it was. But anyway, Rainbow, no. Started with an E. I don't think it was Eureka, though. Maybe it was. Eureka vacuum cleaners? Maybe.
Eureka, I
don't feel like that's right, though.
Like
I know you guys, if you know antique, because everybody knows, old vacuum cleaners. That's what everybody pays attention to. It was just a little cylinder. It was like probably 2 feet long, a couple gallons. And it literally was horrible. You pulled this thing along behind you. Now all the upright vacuum cleaners, or the whole mechanism is attached to your handle. So you're pushing the whole vacuum. The only thing you have to jack around with is the cord. This one had a cord running to a 4-wheeled little thing that you had to pull behind you, and then you had the handheld. Basically, the handheld. Electrolux. Boom. Got it. Got it. Kay Clark with the win. Electrolux. You got it. It was Electric Lux vacuum, and it was this cylinder. And it was like, I don't know. It was like stainless and gray. It was a god-awful ugly thing. I remember I took it apart and fixed it. I also fixed her flip clock, her flip alarm clock, that has it had a rotating gear set and the numbers would flip.
I'm not familiar with that.
They're like little chits. It's like a bunch of little signs, like 3/4 inch by 3/4 inch square signs that all flipped over.
I think I know what you're talking about.
As the gears rotated, it would lock into the minutes one, and every 60 seconds would flip the minutes thing by 1.
Yeah.
And then every now and then it would get to a tens change, and the 9 had an extra little slat on it that pulled the next 10 over. And so I took that apart and fixed it. I fixed all sorts of crap as a kid. Don't know how I did it.
I don't know how I did it.
No,
I did it.
No idea. Yeah, no idea. Oh, Phoenix Mercer nailed it right above you. Sorry, I didn't see that. Yeah, it was Electrolux. Yeah, Electrolux. Chat coming to the rescue. But I'm a tinkerer. I love to take things apart and figure out how they work. There was a time where I would go and buy old electronics that weren't working so that I could take them apart, like at garage sales, and see if I could get them working again. And because it was easy once you found out what the parts really are. Yeah, and 99.99999% of the time, that's probably a completely false number. It's the power supply for electronics. The power supply fails before anything else. Unless there's some sort of damage to the unit, like it's dropped or, crushed or something like that.
Or water damage.
But just from time, yeah, it spilled something on it or whatever, right? Even then, the power supply is probably one of the things that goes first.
That is true. Yeah, it probably shorts out the power supply.
Because back in the old days, the power supplies weren't shielded. They didn't have anything to keep them insulated. It was just an open, probably a separate PCB, right? With a, with just power feeds on it, right? And, with the open capacitors and stuff. And so there'd be a loose solder joint, or, they had internal fuses that in the old days weren't replaceable fuses. And so there'd be, a burnt internal fuse you could replace. So there's probably a lot of misuse by corporations, by hiding simple fixes inside the devices, making those simple fixes, inaccessible to the consumer, to guarantee that they had recurring business, right? And you can sympathize with all sides of that equation, because back in the day, electronics didn't change over so quick. So you knew you weren't going to sell 10 TVs to a person over the course of, this 10 years. You're going to sell them one TV. But they were going to have to call you and have that one TV have small repairs done to it 5 times.
I mean, I'm going to be honest. I've only ever owned 3 TVs.
Well, you're only like 15 years old, so
Wow.
that's doing pretty good. Wow, chat. Wow. Use the kick and cuss method to fix things. How's that working for you? As long as all you buy is cows, that probably works. Oric. It's working 50-50. Half the stuff stays broken. Half the stuff comes back alive. I don't know how it works. It's magic. I have the Midas touch. Yeah, but I love tinkering with stuff. So, but I am also not a guy that I don't know. Boy, I'd have to think really hard to think if I've ever even done anything on warranty repair, other than cars. Right? I've had cars warrantied because there have been like recall things or problems with a vehicle that they needed to warranty, but they were usually design flaws. I owned a Land Rover Discovery back when those first came to the U.S. Well, maybe not first, when they changed the body style and all that years and years and years ago. It was probably late 90s, early 2000s. I had a Land Rover Discovery, and they had a flaw in the design on the left front suspension, and it would cause problems all the time. And it took, back in the day where you couldn't really research on the internet very easily, it took a lot of research, but I found out and took the Land Rover dealer and said, look what I found. While you haven't issued a formal recall, I happen to know that this fails on like 80% of your vehicles. So guess what you're fixing today? And they didn't even argue. But
Really?
It took me knowing about it for them to do it. Otherwise, they would have.
Swept it under the
rug. Oh yeah, $800 a time. It was $1,400, I think, to repair it the first time. And we did get hit on that one, but it was when the second time happened that I knew to look. So I'm like, nah, nothing we're doing to this truck is causing this problem.
Yeah.
This is a flaw in your mechanical design.
Yeah.
And that was around when Ford bought them, I think. Ford bought Land Rover, or vice versa. No, I think Ford bought Land Rover to learn how to make SUVs.
Yeah.
And yeah. But I don't ever buy anything like, people say, hey, do you want the 2-year warranty? Nah, screw it. I'll fix it myself.
Yeah.
Or if it dies within 90 days. I was like, how long is the warranty normally? 90 days. Great. That's what companies have done since they can't have tamper seals. They just make the warranty 90 days. Because guess what? Then you're screwed anyway.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
You should have let us have the tamper seal. Right? Because the tamper seal, we were giving you 5-year warranty if you had the tamper seal on the thing. The federal government takes away the tamper seal and now you get 90 days. I guarantee that's a story.
Probably.
Well, yeah, because why? If you're going to have the ability to open it up and tinker with it and then call us and say, hey, my thing doesn't work anymore.
Yeah, I was like, I'm not going to help you.
I'll let my 3-year-old play with all the wires inside the TV. Can you come fix it? It's still under warranty. Look how you're dying over there.
I think I'm done.
Done. We're finished. It's 5:30.
5:40.
Time to go.
Ugh.
Time to go. I've enjoyed my brief time here in the comfy chair.
You've been here for like an hour and change.
That's brief. Looks good. Looking very good. I'm going to go home and take some of Jen's electronics apart. Just to mess with them for old time's sake.
You got to take the blender apart.
You tinker with old consoles and stuff like that, because what's another time and skill hobby I don't have the bandwidth for?
Oh. Hey, look, I'm on this side.
I don't know why I put up with this nonsense.
Are you going to keep it going, or are you...
No, I'm not going to sit in this chair and stream for 24 hours. That's not happening.
I mean...
I'm out.
Look, I want to put it... Oh my gosh, Rocket Chicken?
Rocket Chicken, 79 months. It says, it
months?
seems I continue this lie. You're living in a simulation, Rocket, so none of this is real.
Yep. 79 months? What's 79?
Rocket,
months?
thank you so much for the big 79 months. That's a lot of months, man. We are approaching 7 years of amazingly intimate time together.
That's so long.
Thank you so much.
That's been so long.
Isn't that crazy?
Ooh,
Many
that's
months.
insane.
Many, many months. This is a level of love you can only get in a long-term prison sentence. What? What'd I say? Rocket Chicken says, ideally.
You put the term love and prison sentence in the same sentence.
I tell everybody that's how I love them. I love you in a kind of prison sort of way. Because then it causes that face to happen, which opens up all sorts of other amazing conversations.
Giggity.
Snafu says, be careful, Jen has a drawer of scissors.
Oh my gosh.
We found the drawer and we got rid of it.
All right.
All right, gang. Thanks for hanging out and watching
Thank
Baby
you so
J
much.
paint. I came in and talked crap.
I'm going to put some links in there.
Have a wonderful evening. Follow all the amazing links. You know the drill. If you're new around here, hit that follow button. Pound it. Hit it hard. Make that warranty work on your keyboard. See how I tied these conversations back? You see how that works? I was not talking. You already. Wait, he's breaking my keyboard now. I don't feel like this is having the effect I was looking for.
Oh, probably not.
Rocket Chicken said, fist it. Oh, wait.
Whoa. Whoa. Whoa now.
Terms of service, Rocket. Terms of service.
Terms of service.
TOS, my friend. TOS.
We're going to need to take this one back to the drawing board.
So if you use
right.
chat's bad influence, I tell you what, you guys are horrible.
Should we
Horrible.
find somebody to raid?
I think you should.
I'll find somebody to raid.
I'm on my phone, so I can't see who's even streaming. What is today? Tuesday?
Today is Tuesday.
Kenny's on, probably. Use lots of glaze wash medium. Use it all. All of it.
Is the audio going to play if I'm looking around for people?
No.
Or should I shut off the stream?
What's that?
Should we close it out?
Close it out. We're out of here.
We're out of here, everybody.
Thanks for hanging out, chat.
Thank you for
Stick
hanging
around
out.
for the raid. We'll catch you mañana.
Bye-bye, everybody.
Adios.
Catching that raid monument hobby style. Love Minnie's in the chat. Just in time for her theme song. We summoned her. We're just getting started.